Hey everybody, welcome back to Secret Squirrel Games. I'm your host, Secret Squirrel. Once again, we are joining our Greek mythology-themed Dungeons & Dragons campaign called Myths and Legends. It's Saturday evening. It's 6:30 p.m., just a few minutes after. Had to make sure, of course, that we had our technical issues worked out. To the best of my knowledge, they are, but there have been some modifications to the broadcast software since the last time we streamed, so I am going to do an audio check and make sure everything is up and running before we get going into the adventure itself, the adventure proper, that is. But again, for just as a reminder for anybody who's new to this channel and to specifically this stream, our Saturday night 6:30 p.m. D&D Myths and Legends stream, this is not your standard orcs and elves and dragons and whatnot, Dungeons and Dragons. This isn't a medieval Europe style fantasy version of D&D type of thing, Lord of the Rings style or anything like that. This is Greek mythology themed, so obviously it follows that kind of that era, those events, as well as with the mythological bent to it, the mythological angle as well. So we do have the gods involved, and we do have your mythological creatures like your Medusas and things like that, or whatever, are all in here. But it's not in standard Middle Ages style Europe. It's in the Greek, Age of Heroes kind of mythological era. Now, just one thing I also want to point out real quick. In the bottom left of the screen, you'll see the name Adrian Von Ziegler, where it says music by Adrian Von Ziegler. All the music tonight that you're going to hear is by Adrian Von Ziegler. His music is out there widely available. It is all copyright free, royalty free, and it is free to use on your projects as well. So if you find that you like any of the music, feel free to look him up, Google him, I believe he has his own website, as well as he's listed on Spotify and everything as well. So you can feel free to use his music to your heart's content. And it's by his own graciousness that he allows us to do this without any royalties or anything like that, as long as we credit him, which we're doing, of course. So thank you very much, Adrian Von Ziegler, for that. I encourage everybody to go check that out. We intend to utilize that music, throughout our adventures here and our scenarios within the Myths and Legends campaign. Now, we are down 2 people. You'll see the list of everybody on the right-hand side. We have, of course, our Dungeon Master Wolfgar is here, myself, Secret Squirrel playing Arthemeos, Mudget is playing Profanities, we have Calypso here, we have Penelope here, but we do not have Palomonius and Bacchios tonight. So while you may see a green ring around Palomonius, that's just going to be the music, actually, when it's not him talking, obviously, because he's not here. So we are short 2 of our crew tonight, but we will soldier on through the adventure without that. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to go ahead and join back into the Discord channel where the rest of the crew is waiting right now, and I will let, of course, Wolfgar take the reins for his adventure here. And I do appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight, and encourage you to do the same into the future, of course, if you enjoy this. Also, I'm going to go ahead and say that prior episodes, by the way, are available. If you like what you see tonight and you think, hey, you know what, I'd like to see how the story developed as it got to here or anything like that, go check them out over on my YouTube channel, also called Secret Squirrel Games. It also bears that same logo that you see in the bottom right corner of your screen. And there is a playlist over there called D&D Myths and Legends. Go check it out over there, and you'll be caught up on the story. We're going to pick it up here now with the crew. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the rest of the crew as I join the Discord channel. Hello, everybody. We are streaming, or we should be, at least. I'm going to double check for technical purposes because of the audio formatting, or the interface kind of changing a little bit on the broadcast software, but it seems like we should be streaming. I just want to let you guys know. So you can go ahead and start, Wolfgar. I've given the introduction a little bit. I've already said that, we're down 2 people, and I've already given the Adrian Von Ziegler credit as well. So you can just pick up from there. But I will let you know if there's any audio issues in just a moment, okay?
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. I know it's been a while, but we are back into the game today, Myths and Legends. Starting off Chapter 4, A Fine Plan. As always, let's do a quick character introduction, starting with host, we have Arthemeos, who...
Yeah, sorry, I was just double checking the audio part first. But yes, Arthemeos is here. Arthemeos is of a marine or a nautical soldier style background, and he is a demigod by birth. He is a son of Nyx, goddess of the night, and he is in traditional Dungeons and Dragons parlance, he would be a rogue fighter. That more represents his fighting style. He's not so much a thief style or anything like that, though. But he does, sneak around, use the shadows and the night to his advantage as best he can, of course. And more specifically, he's more of a swashbuckler fighter per D&D general rules style. So he darts in, strikes, leaves, does some archery, that kind of thing. And like I said, he is a demigod, so he does have some other abilities related to Nyx that come into play as well. And he is a follower and venerates Hades above all of the other gods of the Greek mythos.
Indeed. All right. We move on next to the Spartan warrior, Profanities.
Profanities is not the offspring of any of the gods. He is a human. He is a former commander of many Spartan legions, seen much death in battle, and therefore has a respect for Hades. However, his chosen god to serve is Ares, the god of war. Profanities wields the Blades of Fury, two one-handed shortened broadswords, very similar to the style of Kratos. They are linked with a chain, which allows him to pull enemies in closer to him to then send their souls to meet Hades in the afterlife. In D&D parlance, Profanities is the epic swordsman of honor. He is a samurai.
There you go. Next on our roster of present adventurers, we have the priestess, the Oracle Calypso.
Yes, I am a human light domain cleric. I do follow Apollo as my deity. I've spent much of my life in service to him in the temples, but have decided to spread his goodwill and light amongst the world, and get into some adventures and see what we can do for Apollo across the domain.
There you go. And last but certainly not least, we have the Athenian Penelope.
Yes, Penelope is a former sailor. She ventures forth to become worthy of her deity, Athena. She knows that even though she's a few sandwiches short of a picnic, she has potential to be a great team asset. Occasionally, she is prone to intense moments of profound concentration as she fights for the good of her troop and her goddess. During these times, she is able to shake off attacks that others may find critically damaging. She is playing the role of a barbarian.
And that pause between ass and set may have been intentional or may not have been. Either way, it is appropriate.
The timing was not what I intended, but...
So with that, we unfortunately, due to some scheduling concerns, where it's the holidays, a lot of things are going on right now. We are down our artificer Palomonius and our bard monk Bacchius, but they are gone. They are, going to be joining us. Though they are gone for this session, they will be joining us in future sessions to come. So, a little recap is in order, as my players should, for the most part, be aware, but for the audience specifically, to your benefit. Previously, on Myths and Legends, the party had become successful in their initial quest upon arriving in Troy, which was to remove the 2 Trojan docks that were preventing the Greek forces from actually landing onto the beach front of Troy itself. Upon successfully shutting down the 2nd Trojan dock and surviving the fight and the massive tidal waves sent by Poseidon to hinder them, the party made their way back to their Greek camp, where they learned that the Trojans have withdrawn all of their forces back into the city. Previously, Trojan military groups had been roaming the area. There was a lot of chances for encounters with encountering Trojans, though there are still things out in the wilds that you could be encountered, including Trojan scouts that are still traversing the area. The Trojan warriors have all been brought back to the walls of Troy so that they can continue preparing for the siege. The Greeks have made their presence known, and the Trojans are storing up their defenses. Additionally, the party was introduced to a new hero. As a reminder, though the party is themselves heroes, they utilize some classic Greek heroes as allies and ways of assisting in combat and other methods during the game. They met the ruler of Ithaca, Odysseus, the brilliant strategist hero of the Odyssey. Odysseus greeted the party. There were some words exchanged, and a general plan was formed, mostly by King Agamemnon, who informed Arkantos and the group that he and Ajax will hold their troops in reserve, while Arkantos and Odysseus utilize their forces to assault the gate. Once the gates have been breached, Ajax will rush in and assault the interior, while King Agamemnon finds and rescues Helen. As this is the Trojan War, this is why this whole thing is happening, because of Helen and golden apples. But we're not here for a history lesson. We're here to play some games. So, here comes the plan of action. As Odysseus did remind you all and provide his input, there are a variety of things that are necessary before you actually assault the gates. However, time is of the essence. The Trojans are just going to become stronger and stronger and become more and more defensible behind the gates of Troy without your intervention. So you do not have an unlimited time to assault the gates. In fact, you have 10 days to prep before an assault must take place. Now, you can choose to do this beforehand. However, if you do not want, so you don't have to go wait the entire 10 days, but you have up until 10 days before Agamemnon issues the orders to march onto the gates. So you have 10 days, so that's for you guys, for the players, keep in mind. So, first and foremost, of course, you need to continue building up your forces, building up those points that you've been earning. Additionally, you were informed that Troy has been receiving aid from the neighboring city of Cyzicus. They are supplying aid and resources that allow Troy to maintain during the siege, disrupt these caravans that they set forth, and then set your troops to assaulting the convoys. Enough resistance should dampen, if not halt, the assistance that Cyzicus is giving Troy. Additionally, you were successful in bringing favor to you, the Greeks, from the god Ares due to your actions and your successes. However, the god Apollo is still favoring the Trojans, as well as the goddess Aphrodite and the god Poseidon. Now, it was informed of you it's very unlikely that you'll be able to persuade Poseidon or Aphrodite from changing their minds, but You do have a very venerated member in your party who is close to Apollo. It is still suggested that you work on gaining his attention and earning his favor towards the Greeks. Finally, your actions as a whole, as the party, are becoming much more noticeable and are beginning to vie even more attention from the gods. As you gain your favor with your patrons, more boons are going to be unlocked for you. We will discuss that out of game, but for now, let's go back to our camp. Been a while, guys. How's everyone doing tonight?
Hanging in there.
Good. All right. So,
Doing well, thank you.
as you can see on the stream, you guys have 13 wood. It's because you're super zoomed up into the camp supplies, but I know you're resizing the screen. But yes, just as a reminder, you have 13 wood. So, yes, one of the things we had left off from the previous session was assigning our troops and assigning our soldiers as well. So that is what we're going to start with and get things underway. You guys have to decide, or you're not troops and soldiers, troops and villagers. You guys need to decide what you are planning on doing with your troops, your villagers, everybody. How are you setting them to work? Now, as a reminder, there is still supplies and things that can be harvested from both of the camps. That was put forth to you all. Here, though, let's start with our villagers. You have 26 groups of 26 villagers in total. In other words, you have 13 pairs of villagers to assign to various tasks. So, currently, you had 5 assigned to fishing and hunting, 4 assigned to woodwork, and 2 assigned to worship. However, and nothing assigned to building at the time. So, with that in mind, I'm going to wipe the slate clean for now. How would you like to utilize your villagers? You have 13 pairs. So let's look at who the party's de facto leader, I would think. Let's start with you. Profanities. What are your thoughts? How should we be utilizing the villagers? What should we be working towards?
I suggest food and training. And I say suggest because I know that Agamemnon is in the camp, or at least in.
Well, training wouldn't be something your villagers do. That is specific. That would be a troop activity.
Right. So the villagers looking for favor.
Okay, so doing worship, you mean?
Right, doing worship, looking for favor from the gods,
Okay.
working the temples, making their sacrifices, saying their prayers.
Okay. I know
Food is
that
a priority since we'll be on the march soon.
I know that one of the things that Calypso you wanted to do
Yes.
was get a temple up and running.
Yes.
We're still a little short on supplies. You do have the wood resources and the favor resources.
Right, but we are
You do
low
not
on
have
food.
food yet.
I was just looking at that. So we would need enough food. We're 3 short for food to build the temple. It does take 5 days to build.
However, that can be shortened.
Okay, fair. But we do need 5 food. 10 of the wood and 5 of the favor to do that. So we need to, my opinion would be to bulk up the food, so that we have enough to cover not only the villagers but also the workers for the building of the temple.
Okay, fair enough. As a reminder, too, there is the forge that was in the first Trojan dock. That forge can be transported to the camp. Remember, that is in your camp upgrades handout here. That forge can be transported to the camp. Does cost a bit of food. I don't believe
I
you
thought
did.
we had dispatched people to do exactly that.
Let me see your troops. 1 second.
To bring that that whatever that item was that was superheated and all that kind of stuff or whatever.
That was a shield, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was acting as their forge or whatever, and I thought we had specifically sent people to do just that, to bring that.
Let's see. I don't remember if you guys had chosen to do that yet or not.
Because I thought, yeah, we needed to send troops to do it, not because we discussed how we needed to send troops to do it for, to protect it, and vice being able to send any kind of the worker bees basically to do it.
Let's see. 1 second. What's that? 2, 3. You know what? That I believe you are right. You did send a group out because you had gained a couple more soldiers after the entirety of the camp had left, but I see only 2, 3, 4, 5 units are being utilized at the moment, but you had 8 in total, and I gave you guys 2 extra units, so that's probably where the 1 troop unit was doing. So I'm just gonna say, because we don't have this exactly down, but that's fine. I'm just going to say that the forge is now in place. Okay, so let me go ahead and place this down on the map, and then you guys can decide where you want to put it. But the forge is now in place, and you guys can choose to use it as you see fit. One moment. Pull this up here. In the meantime, so it seems like the majority of you guys want to use your villagers for food and favor. So go ahead and let's come to a consensus. Let's get a total. Remember, you have 13 sets of villagers to assign. You already get a +1 bonus to favor because of Agamemnon, and a +3 bonus to wood because of your woodwork, your lumber yard. So go ahead, let's come to a consensus. Where do you want to assign your villagers? Get your numbers out.
You want them typed in chat like last time?
If you'd like to do it that way, but go ahead and voice it too so that the audience can be in touch because they can't see the chat.
All right. Profanities is going to keep 2 villagers working on wood because we will need resources, and 6 villagers assigned to food since we are short. But we have found that other water source, which would be a good source for food, and 5 working on favor because we know that we still need to sway Apollo.
Okay.
So there we go.
What are your thoughts, Penelope? Penelope, are you muted?
Why, yes, this was a test. This was a test. It did work. I was totally muted. So, excellent. Thumbs up over on this side. I actually feel the same as Profanities.
Okay. Give me your reasoning.
Hold on here.
Penelope
Can't.
doesn't do reasoning.
I can't. Yeah, it's over. I'm sorry. I can't.
Okay. Give me your reasoning.
Okay, so we are looking at hunting the woodwork, the worship.
Profanities just said it so convincingly.
I'm not sure I could add to it.
Mhm.
I know we need a lot more food. For God's sakes, we need food.
There you go. There's the reasoning right there.
There
Penelope
you go.
hungry. Lots
Penelope hungry.
of Penelope hungry.
Watch out, I'll start talking like the Cookie Monster, I swear to God.
All right. What are your thoughts, Arthemios?
Well, first off, just want to verify, like I just typed in chat asking, the numbers that Profanities put, 2, 6, and 5, that's for food, woodwork, and worship, with nothing for building currently, right?
Correct.
In that order, right?
Actually, it's woodwork, food, favor. 2, 6, 5.
Oh, okay. I was going off the
Just like
order
it's
from the
listed on
chart in the utilizing villagers thing. Okay, so you.
So far.
Okay, so you're
Oh,
swapping.
I'm doing it from the chart on the map. They're in different orders.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it's woodwork only 2. You're saying. Yeah. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense to me, especially considering we have a +3 or whatever. So is that still applicable? The +3 to woodwork?
Yeah. That is just gonna always be there as long as you have your lumberyard.
Okay.
Should
and
anything
the
happen to the
+1 to
lumberyard,
worship,
that's different.
likewise from Agamemnon bonus.
Correct.
Okay.
As long as Agamemnon's in the camp.
Right.
Should you wish to take him out, yes, then you won't get that bonus.
Right.
The forge oven is now in the camp as a token. Feel free to place that wherever you see fit. Place it wherever you'd like in the camp. Everyone should be able to move it around as they'd like.
Okay. So
go ahead, Arthemios.
Woodwork 2, food 6, worship 5 is what's been forwarded
so far.
Okay. And that's with a +3 on the woodwork and a +1 on the worship. So ultimately that would be 5 woodwork, 6 food, 6 worship is what we're looking at.
Basically, yes.
Okay. Then I'm game with that. That sounds good. It's a good even distribution for the most part then.
Any differing opinions, Calypso?
Calypso is just now returning with her own grapes.
Well, someone has to take the role of Bacchius, I assume. So I think, though, that seems like a fair plan. Unless, Calypso, you have specific thoughts about certain distribution. I think that is a pretty good idea, what you guys have set forth. So,
Sneak a peek, worship +1, woodwork. So no fishing, hunting.
No,
Well,
we're doing 2 for woodwork.
there's nothing there at the moment. It's
I see.
what you're assigning.
Gotcha.
Let me make sure the math is right. 6, 7, 8. Yep, perfect. All right, so we are looking at a +6 in food, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, from the assignment alone.
A
6.
+6 in food. Then in woodwork, a +2 with its +3 bonus. And then worship, a +5 with its +1 bonus. Nothing being set to build.
Not currently, no.
Not currently. All right, great. So make sure that looks right for you guys. And then we will go ahead and move on to troops. Now, with the troops, you have currently a total of 32 troops to assign, broken down into groups of 4. That is 8 units of troops to assign. You have currently, you had set 2 to scouting, 1 to guard duty, 1 to military training, 1 to boost morale. You currently have 2 wild points as well to utilize, so don't forget about those. What would you like to set about your troops for? I know profanities you had originally said military training. Keep in mind, scouting is going to help you guys with, again, finding more resources, finding where are these trade caravans happening, finding a couple of different things. You guys can yourselves, of course, choose to scout out if you wish, but you do have your scouts there for a reason that can be used for a variety of different stuff. Obviously, you know what guard duty is beneficial for, and what boost morale is beneficial for those wild points.
And at this point, we have all 8 sets of 4 back and available because of things like the return of the forge and things like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
I will also add, when it does come to the time of the troops, of the assault, you do technically have 8 troops guarding the nearby village, where you had utilized some of their villagers.
Right. That's 2
Now,
of our
obviously,
unit.
you can... Correct. Now, obviously, that's not including the 32 that are available to you. So, in reality,
so we have 40.
you have 40 troops to
Okay.
use. Now, obviously, you can pull some, back. However, of course, that means you lose villagers.
Right.
But when it comes time for the assault, that is an option for you. So to keep that in mind. You technically have 40 troops in total. Just 2 are on assignment at the moment. So go ahead and, so profanities, you want to expand any more? You had been mentioning mainly military training.
Yeah, so we have 8 to assign.
You have 8 units to assign, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend that we put 3 in military training, 2 in guard duty, 2 in scouting, and the last one on boost morale.
What about your wild points?
Wild points, I would use those to affect the military training.
Okay.
Because we know the battle is coming in 110 day. So it's time to get them ready to hit the ground running.
Okay. So go ahead and put your numbers down into chat for everybody to see. Penelope, did you have any other thoughts? Any other focuses you think are necessary?
So, did we choose to do any in scouting at all? I understand that.
Yes.
Okay.
2 in
Sorry.
scouting.
All right. Yeah. Actually, yes. This is probably exactly what I do. The spread is pretty even. I mean, the 1 extra in the military training is smart since the battle is absolutely coming. But morale is always wonderful for boosting. Yes?
I will also add that with Odysseus, you have a extra point in scouting.
Ooh.
So Odysseus adds his hero bonus. Arcantos assists your training, Ajax assists your guard duty, Odysseus assists your scouting.
Yeah, well, we need to definitely scout out some new food sources. That's damn truth.
You did find a food source. If you guys
That's right. It's been a little
remember,
while.
you did find a food source. It's just you've been harvesting that food source. That's
Right.
what's been kind of slowing you down.
Understood.
All right, so my recommendations are in the chat. 2 scout, 2 guard, 3 train, 1 morale, with both of the wild points going to training.
Okay. Any other thoughts, Arthemeos, or?
My only question would be, is that with the expectation of all 3 of those heroes staying in camp?
Yes, I don't intend to take any heroes with us.
Okay, because I mean that we already assumed Agamemnon as well was staying because of the +1 for worship as well.
Yeah, I see them being more beneficial to us in camp.
We've been holding our own. I think our party's good.
Very true. Very true.
2, 2, 3, 1. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. 2, 2, 3, 1's a good spread. And with +1s for the first 3, and then the 2 wild points also.
All right.
I guess so.
Any other thoughts, Calypso?
Not on this part. That looks good. Thank you.
Now, boost morale only gives us the wild points, right?
Correct.
Correct.
But
I
obviously,
guess-
the higher you roll in
Sure.
your boost morale, the more wild points you get.
Right. I guess the only suggestion I might have is instead of putting both wild in training, I might put 1 wild in boost morale.
Well, I'm also looking at it thematically, where we have one group resting at any time.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
But the bonus points we can shift around, but I think right now the bonus points on training give us the best shot at improving their skill coming to battle. But I'm good splitting them if we want to.
I mean, the only reason I'm saying is because if we're already getting +1s on all those from heroes as well, then we're looking at 3, 3, 4 with only 1 in, and then adding 2 more, we're looking at 3, 3, 6 in scout, guard, and train with only 1 point in boost morale. And I was thinking there were 1 set of soldiers doing the boost morale thing. I was thinking put 1 wild point in there just to increase our chance of getting additional boost morale on the next time, you know, considering we're already at 6 in train. I mean, I don't think 5 is that detrimental versus 6.
I think Arthemeos speaks true. Wise counsel from the seamen.
From
the what?
That's right, from the seamen.
Who of course wants to increase boost
Okay.
increase in boost morale as well, of course.
So we have 2 in scouting plus the 1 bonus from Odysseus. We have 2 in guard duty plus the 1 bonus from Ajax. We have 3 in military training plus the 1 bonus from Arcantos plus 1 wild point. Then we have 1 in boost morale plus the wild point. We'll also do this because Bacchius will be staying back in camp. I will have the boost morale roll done at advantage.
He's definitely good for that.
Bacchius. And then I will let you guys choose. So take a look at that, make sure that makes sense. So +2, or total 3 for scouting, 3 for guard duty, 5 for military training, 2 for boost morale, but at advantage due to Bacchius being there. In regards to, where are you, Palamonius being left in camp, he will give advantage to the woodwork specifically because you have because you have nobody building, so he will
Right, I was
provide
going to say,
advantage.
I would think he would be a building guy, but we're not building, so.
Correct. So he will provide advantage from he'll provide that advantage for you guys. So that's in your villagers, that is in your troops. Is everybody happy with how things are laid out?
Looks good to me.
Yes.
All right. With all that said and done, it is a relatively easy night for a lot of you. It's a little bit noisier in the camp than before. Obviously, the new additions happy to get off the water after being stuck at sea for some time. The troops are kind of getting settled in. Camping tents and various things are being set up. You do still have the forge oven that you guys can move around. Feel free to do so. Let me know if you can't move that token.
I want some crispy pizza.
So, yeah, you know, for the most part, everybody is feeling pretty good. You know, they feel the Trojans are being pushed back somewhat onto their heels behind their walls. You have successfully got rid of the 2 docks. After all, it's been... You have reason to sleep somewhat soundly. At this time, however, Arthemeos, you have never been one to necessarily eschew sleep, but you haven't always found it easily. You yourself have said that sometimes you are kept up at night due to the ghosts that you speak to.
Yes.
Well, tonight is another one of those nights. And previously, when you had rested here, staring into the campfire, speaking to these spirits, you had felt a presence and a hand on your shoulder, and you had heard words from, you believe, Hades. He had informed you that should you be successful in clearing this next dock, you would be granted a reward. If you remember that.
I do.
Well, obviously, the party has been successful. And the gods are men of their words and women of their words most of the time. So, this night, the fire has died down and darkness has enveloped you. Feel darkness has always been like a warmth around you, like the embrace of your mother as you are a child of Nyx. You have always felt comfortable in the dark. However, tonight it seems somewhat extra. It seems to be at a higher tier of darkness than what you would be used to. You see in the dwindling flames that seem to be growing smaller by the second, your eyes begin to tunnel, and you see yourself walking forward towards the flame. And as the tunnel somewhat envelops you, the darkness becomes stone and rock that is carved and cut expertly around you. This stone-like tunnel you are walking through suddenly opens into a large antechamber. And the shades of the dead fill this antechamber almost to bursting. They are everywhere. But as you continue to step forward, they part away from you, almost as if there are hold on. Magnets repelling against each other. Magnetically is the word I'm trying to say. As if they are magnetically repelled from you. They can't, even if they wanted to, get close to your being. and you are able to walk directly forward to a set of large doors. The doors are cracked slightly open. It's a set of double doors that tower above you. They cracked slightly open, and as you step inside, they gently close behind you, and you find yourself inside of a very large, extravagant vault of sorts. It is almost like as if a bank vault had been turned into a safe room. It's actually looks very comfortable. And though there is opulence here and extravagance, it's not showy.
Opulence, it has it.
Akin this to like a very nice like museum exhibit, as there are actually glass cases of a variety of artifacts all throughout here. Some you think you recognize, others you have absolutely no idea what they are.
Understood.
However, what eventually draws your attention is a large chair sitting in front of a fireplace, a rather large three-headed dog asleep by the chair. The chair is facing away from you, but you can tell there's someone sitting within it.
Do I have... I mean, obviously, player knowledge is a different thing than character knowledge. Do I have an instinct of who this is?
You of all people, your character would know what this is.
Yeah, this...
And who this is.
This would be Hades, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. And I say, well, I'll approach.
Okay. Do you come around the chair, or do you stay behind it?
No, I'll come around, Not quickly or abruptly or anything like that type of thing, but just, casually.
The chair is large. It's not like this chair is towering above you. It's not like where with Ares himself was, a giant.
Right.
High above you, and the entire place was in a gigantic scale to you. No, this is... It's larger. It's, maybe, the chair itself is maybe about 8-9 feet in height. The god sitting in it doesn't fill it out, but he stands probably a good foot or two taller than you.
If you were standing.
He is watching the flames. You see in one hand he has a small goblet of wine, and in the other hand he seems to be motioning in as if fingers on a piano, or just fingers kind of dancing through the air. Yeah. He absentmindedly, his hand drops and he scratches one of the heads of Cerberus beside him. But he continues to watch the flames as you step around.
I say, so is this how it is then? Has my time come during the night, during my slumber?
If this was your time, Arthemeos, you would be amongst the shades of the dead, like everyone else. No. This is not your time, but I have asked for you.
And I am here.
He nods. He says, congratulations on your success. Your continued success in this affair has gotten the other gods of Olympus in quite the fervor, and you all are beginning to be noticed.
I get a little bit of a smirk on my face, like satisfied that that's happening amongst them.
I, for one, do not care who wins or loses. They will all find their way to me in the end.
I just kind of do like a slow nod, a slow nod with a long blink kind of thing, like an acknowledging as if that's, of course, as expected as the way it should be.
He says, "But I have noticed your successes and your aptitude, and so you ought to be rewarded." And with the hand that picks up from scratching Cerberus's head, kind of just flicks his wrist towards you, and you feel a thin gold chain wrap around your wrist, almost like what like a gauntlet would be like, but it's extremely light. And it doesn't cover your whole hand, it just kind of goes from your wrist up to about your elbow in gold. And it laces itself around you and then disappears, sinking into your skin. It's not painful, doesn't hurt, it doesn't, really make a mark or anything. It just appears and is there.
Yes, Daddy, iced my wrist. I'm getting some bling. All right. I'm like, okay. Obviously, I don't verbalize, surprise or anything like that, but I do probably kind of raise my eyebrow a moment, and then just kind of recompose.
Out of character, you learn this. You have Touch of Death.
Fuck yeah, I do. I mean,
I will post this in chat for you so that you can copy it onto your character sheet. But essentially, what this is, give me 1 second, I'm loading it up. So, you can now extract vitality from another creature as it nears its demise. When you reduce a creature within 5 feet of you to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your wisdom or charisma modifier. I'll let you choose. Plus your level in rogue.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So let me post this for you. 1 moment. But yes, this is called Touch of Death. When you reduce a creature
number of
within
times per
5
day?
feet of you. Nope, you can as long as you kill the creature and it's within 5 feet of you. Obviously, the temps would replace. If you already had temps,
they don't add.
would replace.
Yeah, they don't add on.
They don't stack.
Of course.
But you gain your temporary hit points equal to your wisdom modifier or
it's like
charisma modifier.
It's like when we were playing Borderlands 2 earlier. It's like second wind. It's like, as long as I get the kill, just leave them at 1. I'll get the kill. I'll get some tip hit points. I'll be back up.
Exactly. So yes, you get temporary hit points equal to your
Phantom Rogue too, right?
It's taken from the Touch of Death feature from Monk, actually. It's similar in that regard. So yes, you gain temporary hit points equal to your wisdom or charisma modifier. I'll let you pick whichever's higher.
Charisma.
Plus your rogue level minimum of 1 temporary hit point. And that has been chatted to you so that you may add it to your character sheet.
Chatted in Discord.
Correct.
Okay.
So that is given to you first and foremost. However, you find yourself as you look at it, and he explains what this can do for you, what this boon is, and to maintain your progress and your ability and your service to him, and you may continue to keep this boon. However, there's one more thing he must discuss with you.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he steps up. He places the goblet of wine down, and he steps up. You watch one of the two heads kind of looks up at him and whines slightly before putting its head back down. All 6 eyes are watching him as he steps up from around the chair and starts walking, gestures for you to follow. And the room itself seems to get bigger as he walks through it. It's like it's expanding into the space that he is in. He doesn't go through any door, but he seems to just continue walking through the hall, and more exhibits are beginning to show. He explains, I am the god of the underworld here, but I am also more than that. I'm the god of wealth. However, many artifacts of power and of importance have been given to me for safekeeping. The underworld, after all, is one of the safest places there is. And I guard it religiously, as do the souls of the dead. One day you will find yourself doing the same. However, what I didn't think was possible happened. Even I was surprised.
Someone stole something?
Someone or something has stolen from my temple. A very powerful artifact was stolen from the underworld, from this very vault. And he finally stops, and you see yourself in front of a broken glass case. The case is actually rather large. It's about the size of about 4 feet by 3 feet in length and width. And there's it's a marble pedestal, so to speak. And there is an indentation of what would be a rectangular box the size of a simple music box. Maybe a small handheld chest, so to speak.
Okay.
He says, not long ago, in fact, roughly around the time the Trojan War began, I grew suspicious that something was missing from this vault. It took some time, and this tells me someone very powerful and very influenced was at work here, for I did not notice it until you destroyed the first of the docks of Troy. A box was stolen from me. An extremely powerful artifact. I've already discussed this item with one of your own, Palomonius. And I believe I will be sending you someone in the future to assist you in recovering this box. For if you recover it, you will receive my utmost gift and respect. With a gesture of his hand, he shows you, or he creates an image of the box. I am only going to show it to you. If you wish to describe this event to everyone else, I will let you do that and we can share the picture. But I'm only going to show it to you for now.
Okay. Are you going to do it in Discord, or how are you going to?
Correct. I'm
Okay.
gonna message it to you in Discord.
Okay.
He does not tell you what the box is. He just says it's a box. He does not tell you what it does or why it was being kept here. And you may speculate yourself, but he doesn't answer any questions that you may have about
Okay.
it.
All right. I'll take a look at it. And see what you think. Okay.
He says, there will come a time where you will need to retrieve this. I do not know when, but I know it is within your fate to come across it, potentially multiple times. Should you retrieve this artifact, there are those amongst your party who could potentially use it. And I may allow that for the time being, depending on the threat that you face. You are still very early in your thread. Your life, your true purpose is still beginning. But this is my charge unto you and your fellow warriors, heroes. The other gods may have their own workings, and they may follow the other gods to whichever end they wish. That is fine. But even those gods will come to me at some point, and those warriors will do the same. If they want a place in Elysium, guaranteed, they will find this box for me. As will you.
It shall be done.
Nods. Continue your work. Respect the dead. Purge the unliving. I await your further progress. And he returns to the chair. You find yourself suddenly back in that original area. And once again find yourself walking through the tunnel, out through the horde of shades that surround you, before finally awakening the next morning.
Anyone I recognize among the shades?
The faces seem... They seem... anytime you try to focus, the face simply blurs.
Well, even if it's not a face, a feeling, like any of these or anyone I might have.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Well,
Any moment you try to potentially focus in or anything, it fades away.
well, I
The
mean, I
sense
still
of-
pass by with a sense of, like trying to exude a sense of respect and courtesy to them.
There's a sense of anonymity here,
Hmm.
in that all are equal
Right.
when they are dead. Assuming that the, rites have been performed, these shades will themselves be the warriors and heroes. They are the ones who get the special treatment going to Elysium. The rest will continue on their path to whichever they go.
Working in the chocolate factory.
And you wake the next morning. So, do you wish to share this with the audience, with your fellow players?
Not yet.
Or
No.
would you like to hold on to it?
Yeah, not yet.
Fair enough. Alright, you guys have awoken. Everyone should be under the effects of a long rest, should have your full health, full abilities, yada yada yada. Did you have any other questions about Touch of Death, Arthemeos?
It seems pretty straightforward. I think I'm good.
Yep. Alright, perfect. Alright, so now the time has come, the walrus said. Talk of many things. Where are you guys heading to next? You have a couple of options. As I stated, you have your trade caravans to search for and potentially assault. You can work on trying to vie favor with Apollo. there are other potential things you can find and do. If you have your own ideas, I'd love to hear them.
This makes sense.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, obviously it's because he's not here, so he didn't update his character, or whatever, after long rest. But I note that it's the next morning, after a night here or whatever, and where we did not have battle during the night and all this stuff or whatever, and therefore Bacchios wakes up already 3 points down. And that's just because he's just not at 100% anytime he's given the opportunity to actually rest and relax or whatever.
You're lugging those tables around again.
Yeah. I'm thinking he was working on morale, so.
Oh, this is Greece. So, where to, folks? What adventures lie before you?
Are we going after the caravans?
That is an option. You don't know much about where these caravans are. It would take potentially some time to go and find them. But should you find them, you can definitely attempt to assault them, assuming that, one is currently in the progress of going after, or one is currently in the progress of traveling from Cyzicus to Troy. It is possible. It is possible that they are, not currently happening this very day.
Profanities would like to hit a caravan as well. Breaking the supply lines before an attack is usually very beneficial to the attacking force.
Okay. So,
How much time do we have before we venture out, by the way?
Before you, what do you mean?
Well, Penelope would like an opportunity to go in and just pay her respects to Athena. More for flavor than anything, of course.
Are you trying to commune, or are you just, praying?
Just praying.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely have time to do so in the morning.
Thank you.
What about Calypso? Anything you
Yeah.
want to try to do? I know you've been trying to get in touch with
I've been
Paula,
trying.
has not been successful as of yet.
No, I will continue to try and to, Apollo, what can I do to catch attention and raise praise? We are planning a temple and would like some guidance in what would please you, kind of thing.
Okay. Go ahead and make a religion roll, which I will let you get advantage if you choose to burn a spell slot. I will give you advantage.
Yeah, because I'm not really doing augury, right? What level?
You just need to burn a first level spell slot.
First level.
If
That's
you
all I
do
was
so,
asking.
yep. If you burn a
yeah,
first
that's fine.
level, you'll get it.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead and make that religion check at advantage.
That would be a 19.
A 19. All right. So,
Far better than the 13, which.
yes, indeed, far better than the 13 you rolled. So, Calypso, you find a nice bright patch in front of the morning sun that rises, cresting over the mountains to the east. As soon as the sunlight hits you, you have lit some incense and you are in meditation, praying to Apollo. And as the sun's morning rays warm you, you find a sense of familiarity overcome you. And for the briefest moment, you also sense a feeling of direction. A sense of direction that seems to move towards the rising sun. Though you seem to come out of the meditation, that feeling, that sense of direction, still seems to pull you towards the rising sun.
Right, I would suspect, or my interpretation of that, given the question, is that when we build the temple, it should be facing and in worship of the sunrise for the day.
Essentially.
But no words from my god yet.
No words. Okay. Profanities, was there anything special you wanted to do this morning, or no?
No, I will prepare a short speech to the troops, reminding them that the coming battle. Oh, I thought my mic was off. It sounded like you couldn't hear me.
No, go ahead.
Just prepare a short speech to the troops, greeting them in the morning, thanking them for the hard work, but reminding them that the harder work is to come.
Indeed. All right. Odysseus seems to be also up early and is seemingly prepping the scouts on a variety of things, and it seems himself he is gathering up supplies to be heading out as well on a scouting mission. He catches your eye, Profanities, and gestures for you to meet with him.
Okay. I'm gonna meet with him.
He says, "So, I heard you're going to seek out the trade caravans this morning."
That's the plan.
Right. I'm coming with you. I also would like to gather some more intel on this neighboring city, Cyzicus. I've heard rumor that these mercenaries, these Mystios, that they are using are quite skilled, but are not from this land. I'm curious as to their ability. I won't be with you the entire day, but I will at least assist you in this initial part. Will you allow me to travel with you and your group?
Of course. Speak to the scouts and inform them of your absence, of course.
I already have.
You are always welcome.
He nods. Grabs his bow. He will be joining you on this initial scouting report. Though he is not staying with you outside of this, I will still grant you guys the bonus that he offers. Okay. Is there anything else the party wants to do before they set out?
I don't think so. I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah, I think they have pancakes or flatbread or whatever with honey. I'm good.
Gotcha. All right. With that, the party is going to head out. Party is going to head out to the next objective. So, with that in mind, I would like Penelope, you are normally the one who's doing the original scouting.
Yippers.
I would like you to roll a survival roll. We had Arthemeos, you controlling the hero today. Is that still okay?
It's good with me. And that would be Odysseus that I need to get up for that?
That would be Odysseus, indeed.
Okay.
Would you do me the additional favor of rolling a survival roll for him?
For him?
I believe that should be on his sheet.
Yeah, let me just
An ability of
get
his.
sheet over here so that I can do such a thing. Survival, you say? Survival it is.
I have rolled a 17.
Very good.
Penelope's feeling pretty buff.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I've rolled a 20 for Odysseus' survival.
Show off.
He has been doing this for some time. This is kind of his specialty.
Agreed.
So, you all set forth. Following a variety of trails that Odysseus had already pre-scouted, you guys beginning to make your way deeper into the Trojan beachhead, heading more towards the mountainous range to the west of the gates and city of Troy. And as you are moving, Odysseus is actually pretty jovial. He's not as serious as Arcantos. Maybe not as brusque or I should say, not as boisterous as Ajax. But Odysseus, will make a joke here or there. He seems to ask a lot of questions and very inquisitive, and seems to want to get to know each of you and your relationship with Arcantos, your connections to the war, your thoughts on the war, the whole thing. He seems to recognize that you all have become quite the influential members of this war front, and he wants to know as much about you as he can. So consider those intros that you guys gave to the audience a somewhat of a primer to what you give Odysseus. And he seems very intuitive, very inquisitive, as I stated. He asks follow-up questions and seems to hang on to your words very well, while still maintaining a scout's movement and speed. Calypso, make an insight roll for me.
Yes. And that is a 15.
Perfect. As the morning continues and it is beginning to get close to midday, that feeling of a pull towards the sun's rise remains. As midday hits, it breaks.
Okay.
And it moved with the direction, I would mention too. As you guys, maybe turned to face the sea, for example, the feeling of the stays aligned with the direction of the sun rising.
Right,
So
no, I understand.
It kind of maintained a course, so to speak. But
Understood.
as soon as the sun seemed to reach somewhat of a noonish high into the sky, that connection seemed to break away. Not suddenly stop, it almost seemed to just wear and disappear.
Understood.
Okay. I would like everyone, if you wish, to make perception rolls as you continue along the path.
I'm
rolled
busy
14.
chatting up our hero about the plans for the temple.
Odysseus rolls a 15, while Arthemeos rolls an 18.
All right.
Profinity's thoughts wander.
All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Odysseus with the 15, Penelope with the 14, and Arthemeos with the 18. Arthemeos, you are the first to spot what looks like, in the distance, a rather interesting outcropping of trees on rock. I'm going to place you guys on a map. This seems to catch your eye. One moment as I get you guys set up. Ellipsa. Penelope. Profanities. And Odysseus. The rather interesting roundish outcropping here in the distance through the trees. Seems an odd assortment of rocks in this area.
As in arranged or as in oddly natural?
Well, you didn't notice this, but I will say, not necessarily arranged, oddly natural. The fact that it's a small kind of raised outcropping, so rounded, in nature. It strikes you as odd as you are making your way through the paths.
Does it seem consistent with anything that I might have heard of or known to be like something like roughly the equivalent of any kind of a like the equivalent of like a Greek version of a druidic type of shrine or holy area or something like that kind of thing that I might have seen out in the wild before?
Make
like
a
nature people
right,
or that kind of stuff, maybe.
Make an insight roll.
Insight. Yeah. About that.
It
So,
struck you as
you could have
odd
just
as
said no.
it struck you as odd, more along the lines of this is a kind of weird outcropping of rock in this area, in what is mostly plainish. Like once you guys you've only been traveling for half a day, so it's not like you're all the way by the mountainside where the like gates of Troy are.
Right.
So seeing something like this definitely strikes you as odd.
All right. Well, I'll quickly point it out. I'll just be like, it seems a little out of place, does it not?
Odysseus agrees. He definitely thinks this is.
In fact,
odd.
since I'm playing Odysseus, absolutely. How astute of you. What amazing perception you have. Yeah. Okay. Well, if nothing else, that brings it to the conversation between the two of them, at least, brings it to the attention of others, anybody else who might not have picked up on it.
Indeed. Do you wish to investigate?
I'm all for it. In fact, I even glance over kind of at Odysseus, who's obviously got clout too. He's whatever, and at profanities, and to say, I'm assuming that we're not the type of scouting around group who would avoid such an anomaly and would rather instead pursue further knowledge of it. Yes.
Odysseus would definitely, anything odd piques his interest.
Profanity shies from nothing.
Alright, you guys have control of your tokens.
Cool. I'm gonna cut across. I'm gonna go off road.
Okay.
Do you have the right wheels for that?
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
Well, just I'm assuming that you're referring to tires. The wheels are the same wheels usually, but that's okay.
Just in case it has been mentioned, I want to remind everyone that thank you very much, or thanks are in order for Adrian Von Ziegler, who is providing the music for this game. He is a great content creator. He's on YouTube, he's on Spotify. Check out his work, Adrian Von Ziegler. He is awesome. He allows the music to be used in these kind of projects. As the mouse is indicating, he is in the corner there. Go ahead and check him out.
Eclipso.
So I'm kind of making my way
It's a
through the
real book.
trees here. Yeah, I'm kind of making my way through the trees, trying not to line up with the rest of the group, but not being too far, you know?
Where is the lowest point of the circle, or is it completely flat?
Here would be like the low point going upward.
Okay, so that's actually kind of a natural ramp.
Indeed.
Is it ADA compliant? Just kidding. Sorry.
We'll know after you make it up.
You're hilarious.
Oh,
Bum,
the
bum, bum.
thing.
It's more we'll know after Calypso makes it up.
That's,
For real.
that's
Climbing.
true. That's fact.
Calypso, you're about to bump into a really large book.
I know. I was
I
telling you.
know.
Probably avoid that
Bonk
thing.
my head on. I hide underneath the book, floating in the
Jeez.
air.
How wide a berth are you giving this plot of land?
I'm just how it is, and I'm not lining it because I know what lined up spells do. So,
You guys hear like a really loud rustling, like a bear through the trees. You turn around,
Yeah.
and you see Calypso step out of the tree line, and she's got twigs all in her hair.
what? What?
I'm just envisioning her going, it's a spider. Spider. It was a spider.
Please give me a athletics as you begin to climb. It's not very hard, but still give me the roll.
Okay.
Is there anything in this area that would denote that it has been recently disturbed? I mean, is the wildlife seemingly acting normal? We can hear birds and other rustlings and stuff.
Make a perception check.
Is our other hero not with us, or is he hidden?
What other hero?
The scout who came with us. Oh, there he is. I had
You
to
mean
zoom.
Odysseus?
Yeah, his token wasn't showing. As soon as I hit zoom, it popped up.
Oh, weird.
Just graphics glitch.
I rolled a 14.
Okay. Good. Profanities with the 20. Penelope, you're fine. Odysseus, or if he is climbing up, I would need a small roll from him.
Sorry, I was doing a perception to see if the wildlife in the
sorry.
area.
I
It's okay,
apologize.
no problem.
Yes.
Athletics, you say, for him?
It appeared, yes, if he is to climb up. It does not appear like this place has been disturbed recently. You don't see any sign of, footprints or you hear still animal noises, so it's not like this place seems
Under a shadow or anything. Okay.
correct.
He does not have the skills, so I just made a simple strength roll, and there it is, 18.
Okay, give me 1 second. Profanities. As you step up there, you see hidden in the trees. I got to turn it around. Hidden underneath the trees is a small. It's about, well, I shouldn't say small, it's about the size of you. It's a golden statue with a small pool of water within. You notice this as you crest the top. It's hidden underneath the tree, or within the trees.
As I've made no attempt to be stealthy thus far, I turn and I call loudly to Calypso. Some sort of shrine. Make your way up.
Thaumaturgy, booming voice. I'll be right there.
You hear echoing throughout the entire place.
As if to prove a point.
Maybe.
Odysseus kind of raises an eyebrow at that.
Where's Bacchios with his table, since we're all laying them on there?
Yeah. Arthemeos, Odysseus probably just like looks back
Wait,
at
Calypso
you're
needs an
eager.
athletics roll.
Yeah, Calypso, I know you're eager, but you know
Sorry,
you gotta
yeah.
make that roll.
Yeah, Arthemios would just give Odysseus like a raised eyebrow, like
I
nothing
also
I can
need
do about these
a roll
people.
from Penelope, please.
I
Why
rolled
didn't
a
you
10.
strength save?
Oh shit,
strength
she
save.
made it.
Oh, wrong one. My bad.
ADA compliant, bitches.
Yes.
Does that get me all
Calypso-
the way up? Does that get me all the way up?
Yes, it does get you all the way up. Odysseus also made its way up. There we
Oof.
go.
I guess I hit save. Sorry about that.
And Arthemeus, I need the same roll once you make your way up.
Yeah. $18 as well for Arthemios.
You make it up without issue. It's not hard, but there is a couple of loose rocks to keep an eye out for. Easy enough, though, to climb up. Yes, Calypso, as you approach, as I stated, this is a small glen on top of, or a small, little connection of trees and bushes and flowers. There is indeed a golden statue here, about the size of you, feminine, with a pool of water within that seems crystal clear.
Do I recognize it without having to think too hard, or am I gonna have to do like a religion check or something?
You will be making a religion check, but you specifically have advantage.
Got it.
Arthemios and Odysseus, by the way, are taking
Ha!
up positions since we're at an elevation now, or whatever, in order to get a better view of the surrounding terrain.
That roll at advantage is 21, as opposed to the 3, which we will just leave on the side.
I swear Penelope sees a radiance from Calypso.
So,
Calypso does tend to radiate quite often.
you've never actually seen one of these in person, but you have heard of these through story and through scripture and whatnot. This is an oracle pool.
An oracle pole.
An oracle pool.
Those oracles who are working their way through college, it's an oracle poll.
You had one somewhat similar to this. It wasn't exactly like this back in Delphi, where you are from. You believe that the Oracle of Delphi, the Oracle of Delphi, had one within her private chambers, but you were never allowed in there.
Okay.
And you believe this to be the same thing. It is a way to commune with the gods.
I go full Trelawney and just in awe and tell the whole party and whomever else happens to be in the area in awe of this particular thing.
I'm not gonna lie, if you zoom in on it, it looks like it's a monkey holding a bowl.
A golden monkey.
A golden monkey.
As long as it's not holding symbols, we're good.
Right.
There are not that many tokens.
It's okay. I'm just saying. Yeah, because if it was a monkey holding symbols, then if this were Fallout 4, that would be a bomb. So you definitely don't want that.
So clearly my character, having such knowledge of things, would know how to interact with it.
Oh, clearly.
Okay, so I do the stuffs and things.
Make a religion check.
Again. Okay, not it's still an advantage or no?
No. You've never done this before.
Oh,
Yeah.
clearly practice. Would be a 5.
And it shows.
Yeah. Like I said, full
It's like-
Trelawney from Harry Potter.
It's like the scene out of Looney Tunes when the guard is trying to get into the temple. And he stands in front of it. He doesn't remember the password. He says, "Open Sacagawea? Open Saddle Soap?"
So
Just can't get to Open Sesame.
she's never done this before?
No, I know of them.
No,
but
she
never
didn't.
tried one.
When she is not the Oracle of Delphi, so she was like a handmaiden.
So does she just need like a couple of times to like shake out all the cobwebs, like snap to it, like, come on, Calypso, you got this? Does somebody need to like inspire her to? Because Penelope's all for talking this over with Calypso, like, you got this, girl. You can do this.
Bacchios would have been able to help her out with some inspiration,
Yeah, they
but
would have been. Now he's drinking himself under a table again, so I got it. But just stepping in, just you got this, girl. Come on. Yay!
yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, all right, it's fine. You try. Go on.
Am I
not
doing
my
it
thing.
again?
Would you like to try again?
Of course. Yes, Calypso has to try again. Are you kidding? She's not gonna walk away from this thing.
By all means, go ahead
Okay.
and make another attempt.
I gotta center myself, channel my god.
Can Archimedes help? I'm just saying.
There
And there's an
it is.
18. I just
All right.
needed a minute. I needed a little pat on the back from Penelope.
Penelope shakes her head.
I need to manifest. I needed to manifest.
Yeah, dude. Accept the light. Yes, as you stare into the pool and close your eyes and think deeply, the water ripples as if a drop had been dropped within it. It ripples outward and then rebounds off the edges of the bowl in a perfect synchronous form before rippling back within. And as it does, an image forms within the bowl. It is an image of pure reflection of you. It is as if you are looking through a perfect mirror. And a thought crosses you. As
Put
if
your head
you
in, don't
feel
take it out.
like you should ask a question.
As I stare in awe and just kind of reach up and fix the stray hair, I mention to the
The
party.
image doesn't move.
Of course. I mentioned to the party that it would appear we have a means for a question. As a statement, by the way, as a statement. I do not ask the party anything. I just mentioned this.
What
as
should
a
I ask the mirror? Well, you should ask me a question, and the image disappears.
Seen him.
So, yes, as I stated, the pool is a perfect reflection of you, but any movements you seem to be making, it does not reflect that back. So, what is your question, Calypso? You do not believe you have a ton of time.
Okay,
To
I know what I want to ask. The question
Well
is
then,
is
ask it.
Calypso selfish?
Is that the question?
No. That was internal monologue. Not as
Do
in
you think that? Does Calypso think am I selfish?
no. No. No, because Calypso knows she's selfish. It's just whether or not she wants to exercise it at this particular point in time. Since it is a reflection of myself, I am going to ask the Oracle Pool. God, I have two questions in my head. I'm going to ask the Oracle Pool
1,000 other
what.
questions.
Yeah, I kind of glance at profanities for a second, like, because I have two questions.
Profanities gives you the, well, go on now. This is your responsibility.
Shit. Okay. I will ask the Oracle pool about a guaranteed or surefire way to.
What is your question?
Yeah, sorry. I'm not
Quick,
saying-
ask it what you do to appease Apollo.
Yeah, what? I was gonna ask about Apollo. I was asking the best way to win Apollo's favor towards the war, the impending war we are facing.
What is your question? As in, don't tell me I was going to ask. Tell me what. Ask your damn question.
Damn it! Sorry, I'm not good at this. Okay.
I said your damn words.
That's your damn words. Okay. What is the surefire way to win Apollo's favor to our side in the impending war?
As you ask this question, the image ripples once again as if a drop has been dropped within the pool. Again, the ripple rebounds off the circular edges, creating a perfect synchronous ripple effect. I need you to roll
Oh boy.
20. Before you roll, you find yourself.
Sorry, sorry, ignore that. I was trying to set it up and I forgot it was the drop down. I was listening. Go ahead.
Okay. We'll ignore that.
Ignore it.
As you are moving, as your vision seems to draw itself within the pool, you feel yourself walking forward and then presented down a path. You don't have the time to go through both, so you immediately must choose. I will let you either pick left or right, or you can roll for it.
And there's no discerning difference between the two.
There is no discerning difference between the two. In other words, it feels like there are multiple ways for this to happen. You are getting one way.
That's fine. I'll roll.
All right. Odds will be left. Evens will be right.
Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Sorry. That would be evens. 12.
Okay. The door opens for you, and you find yourself being pulled from. You find yourself back in camp, and your vision once again faces the rising sun, and that familiar feeling of a pulling towards the sun appears again, except this time you start moving towards it.
Towards the sun.
You, instead of internalizing that feeling, you begin to follow that direction.
Got it.
It's almost as if you had the exact same morning in the briefest of moments. It's like you watched yourself have the exact same morning you had just today, but in the decision to internalize that feeling, you instead chose to walk towards that feeling.
Got it.
And your vision is pulled from the pool. And you are once again surrounded by your compatriots.
The gods do be cryptic. Okay.
Odysseus steps forward, and he looks over the water. He looks at you, Calypso, and he says, "If the gods speak to you, I'm curious if they'll speak to the rest of you. I'm sure with Calypso's help, we may all be able to look within the waters. Maybe worth it.
I am at the party's service.
What do you think?"
Ooh, I definitely would love to try. I'm enamored by the shiny pool.
Okay. Penelope, you would have advantage on this roll due to the assistance of Calypso. Calypso, you are helping Penelope in in the way to conduct utilizing this pool.
Mhm.
Penelope, go ahead and roll a religion check at advantage.
All right. Here I goes. I rub Archimedes' head for luck.
Hoot hoot. 15.
15.
Okay. Similarly, there is a drop of water that seems to ripple through the pool, and you are faced with a direct reflection, a perfect reflection of yourself, and the feeling to ask a question arises.
Would like to know where the caravan is. How best to
Okay.
find it. How's that?
Okay. Is that your question?
Yes, how best may we locate this? Which direction should we go to?
Yep, that's 2.
I think it's one
As-
question.
As with Calypso, you feel yourself be pulled forward.
Didn't mean to do that.
That might have been the audio. Yeah.
Sorry.
You feel yourself be pulled forward, except this time, rather than there being a, somewhat of a 2-door choice, there are thousands.
Ooh.
Which caravan?
Oh, damn you. This is like the frickin'. This is like that movie. Oh.
Roll a D100.
Very well.
Which movie?
It has Elizabeth Hurley in it. And Brandon Fraser.
As you're. What is that? Is that cruel intent? No, that's
Yeah, he got
Yes.
the devil to make
Bedazzled.
witches and
No.
that's it. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
dazzled.
Which
to
Brendan
be a-
Fraser?
Oh.
So
Let's
as
go,
you
Brendan.
look in, you feel yourself drawn to just a random door. The door opens, and you see a caravan, and it is extremely far away from you, surrounded by people you've never seen before. I will say, you were extremely close to the number I was thinking in my head.
Lisa.
You did not roll that number, and your
Oh,
vision is pulled away from you.
I hang my head in shame and say, hey, if you're going to ask where the caravan is, be real specific with that question. I tried.
Somebody else wish to give this a shot, or ask a different question.
I feel that Archimedes is very disappointed in me. He and I are going to have a conversation.
Profanity steps to the fountain.
I hiss to him, be careful. It's Trixie.
Same thing. Make a religion roll at advantage due to Calypso's aid.
Good thing I get 2 dice.
Haha. It was meant to be. Same as before, same preamble. You feel yourself with the urge to ask a question. What question do you ask?
Now, has Calypso told us who we're asking this question to? Like, do we know that it's an oracle or
Does
just
not
a
know.
feeling or...
She does not know. There is just a feeling to ask a question,
Okay.
and yes, it is assumed that this is to a god or gods, or it might just depend on the question asked.
Where do we strike to guarantee victory against the gates?
The water does not change. You and Calypso make insight roll.
It's a 17 from Calypso.
I'm turning off advantage. Insight.
Yeah, you are somewhat confused, Profanities. You feel like you were specific about the question. And you looked at Calypso, and she seems to have a kind of furrowed brow, and then it kind of dawns on her. There is no guaranteed method of victory here. However, the water has not changed, so it is possible that you could ask a different question. But there is no guaranteed method of victory.
Okay. Then I ask a second question. Where can we strike a supply caravan to have the greatest impact on the coming battle?
Nice question. Penelope's very impressed. She writes this down.
The water adjusts. Rather than you finding yourself faced with multiple options, you instead are drawn forth, continuing along a fast-moving path. And even though the area around you seems to be moving at a great speed, you yourself seem to almost, it feels like you have walked this path 1,000 times. That if you saw it again, it would be second nature to you. Even though this is the first time you are seeing it. And you find yourself going through a thin mountain pass. And through that mountain pass, you see the trails of caravans. You believe this would be the surest place to either prevent future caravans from assisting Troy or to assault the caravans and that are assisting Troy. And then your vision returns back to where you are.
I thank the gods for their aid and guidance.
Arthemeos, did you want to ask a question?
That I do, if I may. And I look at
You also have
Calypso,
advantage.
for verification that it is clear to do so.
I assume
gesture.
give you the thumbs up.
I gesture towards
Give me
the
two
water.
thumbs up, just like, yeah, go for it, bro.
I pull up my arm. Go ahead.
Whatever.
That's in our Discord right now.
Right. Okay.
You may make a religion check with advantage.
Yes. Religion.
Which did you decide, by the way, for Death's touch, wisdom or charisma?
Oh, charisma.
Okay.
Religion. With advantage, you say?
Correct.
Uh,
Yeah, because you have Calypso.
and it does not matter. Brr, brr.
So,
Double sixes indicates.
That's because you're
Good.
standing in the wrong spot.
Is it?
He is.
you are
Nice.
technically not standing in the same spot everybody else was standing.
I did not move from where I was. Profanities was in the other spot.
I mean, maybe that has something to do with it. You don't know.
Calypso's
Calypso,
third.
if you wish, well, there's still inspiration on the table if somebody wants to use an inspiration.
Hmm.
However, I
By
will
all
say-
means. I believe that Arthemeos' counsel is wise and
Oh,
the
geez.
expenditure of our inspirations.
Just a reminder, I have a -1 on this, so.
You have advantage, I don't care.
Well, no, I don't anymore. The advantage is expended. I only have one reroll. So.
Sure. But I mean, so did Profanities. He had a -1. So
Yeah.
did Penelope. She had a -1. They both got 15s.
All right, I'll use one, but only one.
No more.
And
no
there you
less.
go.
Oh.
That's what you get for it.
So
A
I
2.
will say that Calypso,
Yes.
if you choose to use a first level slot,
No.
I will allow another roll. If you
Not-
choose to use a second level slot, I will allow a guarantee.
What are we getting into today?
You don't know. You might not get
just
into any.
looking at the party, and I say I think I might be able to help us a little bit, but it would diminish my capacity for
TikTok.
battle.
TikTok.
Fear not.
5,
Did you say
I-
fear not or
fear not.
do not?
Fear not. I will be fine.
3.
I do not need the gods, any
Two.
other gods' assistance on this.
So I just nod and
One.
let time pass. Yeah.
The water does not change. The effect wearing off.
No problem.
Odysseus hasn't tried.
All right.
We'll
I
give
don't
it a
know what
shot.
Odysseus wants to know, but
Before he looks to you, Arthemeos. He says, in all honesty, I'm pretty happy with my current knowledge. What was the question you were going to ask?
it was specific to a tasking that I have.
I can ask it for you.
I was simply would have asked what the best actions I could take to accomplish the tasking that I have personally been tasked with.
What a task.
Seems
To
a little
accomplish
vague.
the
to
action that I've
accomplish
been-
the task.
Yes, that I have personally been tasked. Not our group's task, but a personal tasking of my own.
You wish to share it with the party.
Because a secret sounds very taxing. Just saying.
No, that's why I walked away.
Very well. If you have no need, then does anybody else have another question?
Doesn't Odysseus have a question that he wants answered, though? He's not satisfied with knowledge. That's why he came. Can't he ask a question about the Mythios or whatever they're called?
Fair enough. He was enraptured in the moment. Yes, go ahead and make a religion roll for him at advantage. If he doesn't have religion, just use intelligence.
Yeah. 20 and a 3.
20. Very nice. Yes, he once again the thought comes to him. You guys don't necessarily see any changes to him. However, when he comes back, he has a mischievous smile on his face, and he looks to you and he says, "I have learned much about Mystios gods that are accompanying these caravans. In fact, I can share that information with you now." He begins to describe the guards in question. A moment. Did I make a handout for you people?
You people?
Who people?
Let me do this.
Did you just say who people?
It said you people.
No, I meant Penelope.
I did.
Like Cindy Lou who?
It is that time of year.
Who people? You people.
Who people?
What do you mean, you people?
Right. Make sure I'm spelling this right. Yada yada yada. Yes.
Yada. I hear an inspiration. Thank you.
You hear one, and yet your character sheet is still blank.
That didn't sound like it was spelled right anyway. So Yada is yada,
Yada.
not
Mhm.
yada yada yada.
There you go.
Big Trouble in Little China?
Right.
The Mystios appear to come from the east and have been traveling here. He tells you the following. As a reminder, you can edit these character sheets.
Already in it.
Character sheets.
He tells us that? That's awesome.
Yeah, he tells you.
Good looking out, Odysseus, letting us know we can edit the character sheets.
You're so funny. So, all right. He tells you this. They are very skilled in the form of combat. He would say that they are professional fighters, so to speak. They range from retired soldiers and warriors to those who just simply like battle or train often. They carry with them a variety of weapons, from long swords and short swords to even a strange bow-like contraption for you to know it is a heavy crossbow. He says that they would know how to utilize the swords in tandem and at a great length, or a great rate. In other words, they get 3 attacks. 2 with their long swords, 1 with their short sword if it is drawn. They would only get 1 attack with their crossbow. He also tells you they are pretty perceptive and quite athletic. He does not believe them to be exceptionally hardy or heavily armored, but still worthy opponents, and probably quite deadly in a group. That is the information he provides. Calypso,
Yes.
you know, kind of one of the things that the Oracle of Delphi did is, it might have actually been Delphi, but whatever. One of the things that they would do is people would line up in front of the temple and they'd each get to ask a question, and then the Oracle would, go into a fervor. Sometimes, not all the time. It depended on the question, it depended on the person, it depended on sometimes the donation. But the Oracle would go into a fervor, receive a message from the god, specifically from Apollo, and then deliver that message to the person.
Yes.
However, she did not do this every day. She did this, there'd be a special day of the week, essentially, where people were allowed to visit the Oracle. The same rule you would believe applied. I will tell you guys to keep for your notes that should you wish to revisit this glade again and ask more questions, you can do so in 5 days.
Relayed.
I will tell you now that you know how to use it. I will allow 1 guaranteed question answered. The rest will require checks from those who wish to ask. still at advantage because you would have the assistance of Calypso. Okay.
Right, and just for clarification, the offerings were to the Oracle of Delphi for her assistance, or to the gods to whom she's communing? With whom she's
Both.
communing. Okay, so then I would know what an appropriate offering should be for our services today.
Typically.
Okay, I wonder if I have the stuffs and things to do that.
I mean, it depended on the person. Some people offered gold and other, monetary values that obviously assisted in, getting supplies for the temple. Other, farmers and the like would offer, livestock and produce and things that they, that they had to offer, whatever was in their means, A lot of it was more geared towards the upkeep of
I was
the temple.
just gonna ask about what the area looks like, because there isn't actually a temple or a person here to donate to for the upkeep of it. I was just gonna ask if the general area looked like it needed some tender care for making sure the sun was hitting it in the appropriate manner, etc. Blah blah blah.
You don't know if this isn't necessarily a pool to Apollo. It's just of the same type. It's a
Sure.
Oracle pool. So you don't know if this is necessarily a if this is outside of its natural habitat, so to speak, or if it's exactly where it's supposed to be.
Right, but there doesn't seem to be anything in the environment like roots growing or tree branches coming down to potentially harm it with further growth, that kind of thing. Something that would need tending to or maintenance.
Not that you can see. For now, you guys can leave it be. You do have a sense of direction.
All right, you said I recognized this mountain pass. At least that it felt familiar.
Correct.
Can I draw upon my personal knowledge? See what this pass may resemble? Is it similar to the pass that we've taken before?
No.
By the Harpies?
No, I will say, because remember, it was the first time you'd ever been through this place, but it was just a feeling of familiarity, as if you had always gone down this road. So that if you ever saw it again, you would know it at a glance. You have a general heading that you can head towards, which is towards it's in the mountain. It's in a mountain range because they go through a mountain pass. So if you actually pull up the Trojan beachhead, I will say where you guys are right now, if you literally go from the ship straight up, there's that line of trees. That's the general area you guys are in right now. Closer to the southern end. So, the gates of Troy are not far. And obviously, this mountain pass needs to be close to the gates of Troy. Your feeling is it's to the right, between the eastern dock and the gates, that mountainous region is where you will find your paths.
Okay. Then that's where we are headed.
Okay. With that, you guys head out. Do this. I would like everyone, or actually not everyone, once again, Odysseus and I would like Odysseus and Penelope to please make the appropriate check.
Survival.
Survival, yes.
Yeah, Odysseus has a 15.
I think I'm good. Penelope rolls a natural 20. Sometimes she's got it. She's shaking off the little snafu with the whole question thing. Still thinking about that caravan, actually.
Still thinking of what?
That weird caravan with all the weird people.
Yeah, what's a weird caravan? You've never seen people like that before. Alright.
Did she get a description of the people that she's never seen before?
I can give you this description if you'd like.
Yeah, she wants to write it down.
She saw it herself, so I don't know whether she's.
They didn't wear many clothes. They had, like, you know, they showed a lot of skin. They were in an extremely jungle heavy region. A vast jungle plain or area that you never seen trees grow as high as this before and grow as dense as this before. And their caravan was a couple of donkeys that were carrying a small wagon that seemed to have lots of fruits and meats on it. But the people themselves had very little clothing on. In fact, they were really only wearing things around their waists, and they carried spears, or at least it looked like spears with them.
Okay. Alright. Noting all this down. Thank you.
Alright. As the party continues towards where they believe the mountain pass to be, this is where we are going to take a quick break. It is currently 8:50. We'll jump back in at 9 o'clock. But yes, if you guys want to go and get a drink or go ahead and, you know, get yourself, you know, stretch your legs, stand
Or
up,
ice
do
cream.
whatever.
Yeah.
Go get ice cream by all means.
Popcorn for all the many viewers. Yes.
Now would be the time to do so. So go ahead and get all of that taken care of. We'll jump back in 10 minutes. Sound good?
Sounds
Sounds
great.
good.
All right, I will be right back. for you
No
guys.
problem. All right, everybody. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take a few minute break here. So I am going to go ahead and put, first off, if I can get this stupid thing to stop on my screen here. I'm going to go ahead and put us on the Be Right Back screen that I have for the channel. And we are going to be back in just a few minutes. All right. So take care, everybody. And hopefully we'll see you back in a few minutes with more D&D myths and legends, where we will pick up with our continued scouting, looking for the caravans that are helping to supply the Trojan forces so that we can impact their readiness for the upcoming battle. All right. So hang on, or go get yourself something to drink or whatever and revisit us in a few minutes. That's all fine and well and good. We will see you then. I'm going to put it on Be Right Back Squirrel right now. You can always just stay and chill with the cool vibes of the Be Right Back Squirrel. Be right back. All right, everybody, we are back from our momentary break there. We had to pause, get some snacks, things like that, take care of nature's business and whatnot. And we are going to be returning here now to D&D Myths and Legends. And let me go ahead and bring it into the Discord again so that we rejoin the crew and pick up the story where we left off. Here we are back in Discord with everybody else. Welcome back, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your momentary break, and I will hand it back over to Wolfgar.
Welcome back, and yes, indeed, everybody is back and ready to continue. So, as I stated, you guys were making your way to the mountainside where this supposed pass is. Doesn't take you long before, indeed, profanities. You do find what you believe to be the mountain pass in question. And again, it's like second nature to you as you begin to approach. Now, as you are making your way through, you can see that why this would be a good pass to use. One, it's very tight. You get numerous images of Battle of Thermopylae in your head. Of the Trojans, of the Spartans being able to withhold the Persian army and hold their ground, even though they were vastly outnumbered. It's the same kind of concept. Tight quarters here. You also see why this is very useful for you all, or this would be very useful to the Trojans, as this would be their method of actually getting to, or getting their supplies quickly to them, because this is so close to the gates of Troy. In fact, on your way here, you had to be very careful as you were getting very close to the actual gates themselves. Nonetheless, due to your knowledge and where to go, you were able to make it here without incurring any issue or suspicion. And that now puts you in the map.
Is it nighttime? It feels like nighttime.
And that is due to the music. I will say it is dusk.
Thank you.
It is rather dark in this mountain pass at the moment. But here you are. Specifically, down here. So, profanities, as you kind of step forward, looking around, it is, again, very familiar to you. As you make your way around the corner, you guys have control of your tokens. As you make your way around the corner, you can see, you already caught a glimpse of it, but now as you got closer, you can see the water is rushing past you. It isn't the deepest river, but it is moving quite quickly. Anything caught within the in the rapids is probably going to have to be quite hardy in order to cross it without utilizing the bridge. And in fact, there is indeed a makeshift bridge here. This is probably how the caravans are getting across without issue. So, you also notice that there is a small cave up here as well. Though your vision didn't necessarily let you explore the cave, you do notice it, at least, is right here. And that the path in which they would be coming in from would be up through here. So, at the moment, here's that the pass is empty. It is a pretty steep gradient, decline and incline. Obviously, the bridge is at the bottom of the valley, crossing the river, and then steadily moving upward out of the map. Same thing on the other end.
So would, I don't know, Fanides prefer Archimedes go and take a quick look at that cave without arousing any suspicion as quietly as he could? He is an owl. Bless you.
Thank you. Yes, the owl should do a job scouting. First, the cave area here, and then the off pass here.
Okay. So Archimedes is going to go to the cave first and see if he can spot anything.
Are you trying for him to go stealthily, or
yes.
is he just going normal?
Nope. Totally going quiet. As quiet as he can, anyway.
Make a stealth roll.
Got it. Is it at advantage?
Would it be at advantage?
Probably not. Maintain he's stealthy.
Okay. He moves into the cave and disappears from sight.
Excellent. Doing his job, you go. But I'm not saying that out loud, obviously.
While he is doing that, is anybody else doing anything? Or are you guys gonna wait back here?
Does not look like that.
Thoughts?
Fallen profanities, of course.
Vanities. Or you cross the bridge.
Yes.
I would like you to go back onto the bridge. And Arthemeos, step back. Thank you. Vanities, as you step onto the bridge, make a perception roll.
Okay. Not my strength.
You cross the bridge, it does creak under your weight, but you seem to cross it without issue.
Okay.
It is at this point that Archimedes appears out of the cave and begins. I'm going to control him. Hold on. You told him to do two things. Begins to head over to this offshoot. What is the rest of the party doing? Does anybody else attempt to cross the bridge? Arthemeos, before you do, make a perception check. Bridge is definitely groaning, even under you.
Okay. I will mention that back to everyone else. I will say, hey, as I see Penelope starting to approach and say, may want to ensure no more than one cross at a time. This does not seem to be the sturdiest of bridges.
So
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. If you were talking
Okay.
before, it did not.
I was trying to discern how deep the water is, but now that I've heard Archimedes, Arthemeos say that, how are they crossing this bridge with a full caravan?
My guess is they
If
are.
it's
Probably should investigate the bridge and find out.
Hmm.
Ooh, I can. Oh, I'm not very smart. Well, you know what? I'd probably do that anyway, but In the meantime, I look at Calypso, and in my head, I think to myself, gosh, climbing, not a big thing. And I hand her a piece of rope just in case. Like, I'm going to hang on to this end. You hold on to this end. Let's see what we can work out, okay?
She knows me so well.
Hey, looking at the bridge from the top, does it appear like it probably should be much sturdier than it seems like it feels?
Archimedes has returned.
Make another perception roll.
23.
23. It definitely looks like it should be much more sturdy.
So for it to be creaking like that, it may, and like, kind of like, it sounds like perhaps Calypso may be alluding to, it may be that under normal conditions, they are able to transport, and instead they expected Greek forces to discover this, and this is set as a...
You don't think that. I'll say that.
Oh no, so it doesn't seem like that they've sabotaged it in any way?
It doesn't appear like it's been sabotaged. Because this would be how they're, getting trade and supplies to maintain their siege. They want this bridge to work.
Okay.
However, it appears that the bridge has recently been damaged.
Oh, okay.
Possibly due to weather, due to something falling or whatnot. The bridge definitely appears damaged.
When you say damage, is it like an obvious damage, like an impact point or something? Like a giant boulder was thrown onto it or anything like that nature?
Taking the time to look over it, you can see that there's some pieces of wood that are missing. They're like the railings have kind of broken away, and that some supports underneath the bridge have cracked and are bowed. So it's possible something either got washed through the rapids or even just the continued force of the rapids has worn away the supports of the bridge. But it seems that the bridge has seen better days. It's likely that the people of Cyzicus know this and may be planning on repairing the bridge or utilizing other means of getting across the river. You're not entirely sure of that. Profanities, you were pinging the tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna search through the tree to see if they've left any timbers to basically make an extra, like a perpendicular beam for the bridge. You see how all the slats are running one direction with the stream? I want to see if they have a set of timbers to go across the stream to basically make like rail tracks or something.
Sure, absolutely. Make a perception roll. Penelope, make 2 perception rolls for Archimedes.
My strength, here we go. Perception.
That's not bad. It does not appear so. However, you do notice these are actually 2 trees that were together. You do notice amongst them there is a stump.
Okay.
So it's
a stump.
possible that they've utilized the wood in this area to help them fix or make the bridge.
What did I call over to Penelope and ask what the owl found out in the cave?
Well, he found a 24 in the cave.
Yes.
13 elsewhere.
He didn't see anything of note in the other pass in the side off area. In the cave, though, he did see there is a bag of tools as well as not a large supply, but a decent supply of lumber. It seems like your thoughts are spot on, Profanities, just in the wrong area.
Okay.
I relay this, of course, to the group quietly, not screaming it. Thank you.
I kind of hold a hand up to those on the other side of the river real quick, and I pull out rope I tie it to this tree that's here, and I bring it back across and hand it to Penelope, because she's sturdy. She can hold it, and that way everybody else can use that as a guide to cross, to hold on to, just in case the bridge gives way under them.
Okay. With the rope, and assuming you guys go one at a time, crossing the bridge doesn't require any check or anything of that nature. You make it across without issue. Obviously, Penelope cannot hold the rope for herself, but again, moving at least one at a time, suffice to say, you guys can get across without problem.
I'm less concerned. I mean, she's strong enough that if it did give way, she could probably hold on to the rope and pull herself up there or whatever.
Sorry about that. I'm waiting for Odysseus. My apologies.
Sorry, yeah.
That was almost,
Alright, I'm still holding the rope. I'm just
that was almost 2 people on the bridge.
Yeah, alright.
Sorry, I said sorry.
I was just catching his token.
And I
didn't
jumped
expect
feet.
it.
Penelope walks across the bridge. Suddenly, Odysseus starts walking across. Penelope runs back across the bridge right before Odysseus.
Oh my god.
What is the state of the pass here?
This area is extremely rough. This is unlikely that you can even see it in the pass in the map itself. It's how this area is a lot darker.
Mm-hmm.
This is not traveled often. It's extremely steep and very rocky. In fact, in order to continue moving up this area, now that you're here, I'm going to mark it. From here to here.
Okay.
It is difficult terrain. Doesn't require any check or anything, but it is an extremely steep angle and extremely rocky.
It was a valid question.
I see your giant thumb and I raise you a tongue.
Oh my god.
The problem is Arthemeos. Because of the stream, I know you typed that.
It's fine. I never denied I did. I'm just saying.
I would have honestly expected that from Penelope. Probably would have blamed her.
Noted. I'm wondering if I should go the other way.
I mean, you can.
Well, Archimedes obviously, was able to see that these both kind of loop around, so to speak. And so I ask Profanities, do you think I should go the other way, or shall I join you?
Okay, so this definitely looks like no caravan could pass through.
It is extremely unlikely that a caravan would be able to move through this curved area. It's too sharp, it's too steep, it's too rough. People can, and it's not like you're at risk of falling or doing anything like that. But you can't move at it. I mean, I didn't say Calypso could do it. I'm specifically talking to Profanities. It's not like you would trip or fall or do anything like that. However, it's at such a rough and steep angle that you have to slow down your movement. Essentially, the caravans much more likely take the long circular path rather than the zigzag.
Okay. I'm satisfied with that. I'm going to come back over here. Actually, I'm going to ask Arthemeos to scout the rest of the pass up this way. while I head over to the cave.
Okay. Arthemeos, as you decide to start moving through, as I said, it's difficult terrain. You start moving through it. It takes you a little while. Does anybody join Arthemeos?
No, Odysseus will go this way. These guys.
I'm gonna go the smooth path.
Penelope joins Arthemios, but launches Archimedes up to scout just slightly ahead.
She throws him like a football.
I absolutely do. Launching him, laces up.
Arthemeos and Penelope both can make perception rolls.
I'd like Archimedes to also be viewing, so will he also be making a perception roll?
He has already made one for the area.
Very well. Fine.
Profanities, you may enter the cave.
Arthemios rolls a 16.
You guys do notice this rocky outcropping here along the path.
Huh.
Is actually an ore vein. And
Or what? That's what Penelope says.
it could be mined for some precious metals.
Ah.
Probably gold or silver. Hard to tell, but it appears to be a small ore vein. Should it be mined, you might be able to utilize its materials for either improvements, money, etc.
Ooh, or for our new upcoming temple. Okay.
I was
Noting it
just
down.
thinking that.
Noting it down.
Profanities, as you enter into the cave, I'm going to do this to you. As you walk in, it's not a very large cave. Honestly, it's about, I would say 15, 20 feet around.
I assumed it was small based on the time that the owl spent inside.
Yeah, it's evidently clear, like, maybe this would be a good place to hide from the rain, maybe spend a night camp, so to speak.
Or keep tools sheltered from the rain.
Exactly. You do see in a small crevice in the corner is indeed the bag of tools that Archimedes saw. Additionally, there are some. They are actually very well cut, but it's not like it's been carved, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
There's lengths of wood. It's not like it's been, carved of all the outer bark or anything like that, but has been cut in such a way that it would literally, again, you right on the nose, would act like railroad tracks. They are grooves cut into the wood that, when laid down, would guide the wheels of a wagon so that it wouldn't slip off or go off center of the bridge itself.
All right.
Arthemeos, as you make it to the top of this circular area, this area actually somewhat levels out before continuing going upward. Pretty bare. There's some rocks, some trees, nothing of any, special note that you can see. There is a rather large rounded boulder there.
Yeah, does it look like it's positioned? Oh, well, first off, are there any obvious grooves in the ground or anything that would indicate a track for that boulder?
Survival roll.
$19.
You are absolutely correct. This does appear to be a purposefully placed boulder, though you don't entirely know how it would be used, as this path here goes upward, and this path does go down, but it is extremely rough. It curves a lot. You don't know how well a boulder would roll down this path. But it does seem purposefully placed.
What about, does it appear to have any kind of spacing behind it? Like it's positioned to block an area? Well, where do the grooves go?
The grooves seem to roll it along the rock face.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm not putting there.
As if it's been rolled along the rock face, and it's hard to say. Again, this doesn't appear like the place has been reached recently, but not. There are still signs of life and activity, obviously. Like the bag of tools doesn't have like a huge profanities. You didn't have to add a new version of yourself.
Oh, I was just trying to save you the work. I assumed you'd just delete me off the screen.
Just GM player.
Oh, okay.
Oh, geez. Now what happened? There's two of them.
Oh my god! It's a weird cave.
I'm glad we chose this path.
It appears like, it's possible that the boulder was rolled down this way. Went a little far, and then it might, with your survival roll, it probably rolled down this way, went a little too far, and then they rolled it up using the mountainside to help guide it and kind of put it to rest here. You don't know if it necessarily blocks something, but they maybe are planning on using it for something.
Right. Okay.
How rugged is the mountain?
In what way?
Like, like, is it super steep that we would run into difficulties climbing it? Is it standard mountainous incline, like athletics check?
It's not climbable in that sense. It's pretty sheer. To climb up would be an athletics check, but you would literally be climbing up the side.
Okay, so it's more vertical than it appears in the picture.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, in other words, I would say you would stay on this spot. If I put you here, you would stay on this spot climbing up for X feet, and then you get to the top.
Okay.
Penelope, Calypso, are you looking into anything specifically?
I am absolutely looking at this weird toenail-shaped kind of rock.
It is a rock. It's a
Excellent.
very large rock that seems embedded in the dirt.
Just seems an off color for the rest of the area. Does it seem like it belongs here? Or?
I make sure I point out this boulder to anybody who hasn't picked up on it as they come down that path.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking Penelope and I could roll that up here.
Oh yeah.
Well, is that up, or is that up and then
This?
down?
That's
Well,
up.
this is uphill going this way.
Right. But
I
then
don't know about.
where's it crest because it comes back down toward the water? Does it crest here where
So
Calypso is?
Here, yes, and
Yeah.
then it goes up that way.
That's what I was figuring.
It goes down, down, up.
Right.
It's relatively level here, but you can, as you can see, there's nowhere that you could really perch the boulder. You might be able to wedge it in the rocks further up, but you'd then have to prevent it from rolling further down.
Right. So from Calypso to the cave is down.
Indeed.
Okay.
It levels out once you get down to here, this area, and as you cross the bridge, it then starts climbing up again.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna ask Penelope to help me roll the rock back along the edge maybe 10 feet to just explore Arthemeos' idea that maybe something's behind it.
I just keep a watch and listen. I know it's been a while, but I just don't want to be surprised.
Archimedes is doing the same thing.
Okay.
Where are we going with this?
Stand on my side.
Very well,
We're
fine.
gonna roll it that way, 10 feet.
Up? Okay.
I need both of you to make athletics checks.
Penelope's feeling pretty good.
Profanities is feeling better.
You know, it's funny because it says 17, but I'm telling you that I have a 20 on my side. I'm not kidding. I can take a picture of it right now.
I believe you. The boulder is rolled. You guys move with it.
Disappointed. You should have seen it.
Is there anything behind it?
Is that as far as you moved it, or you wanted to go like to here?
We wanted to go
Yeah,
10 feet
10
with
feet.
it, so yeah.
So 5, 10. So you guys move with it. Go ahead and put yourself, replace yourselves. There appear to be some markings on the rock there, and you can see.
I call to Arthemeos to check it out.
But don't know what they mean.
It's alright, I call to Arthemeos.
I don't know. What kind of markings are we talking about?
Like a series of lines drawn into patterns.
Like letters?
Yes, like letters, but letters you don't recognize. It definitely is in Greek.
It definitely is not Greek, is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay. Odysseus is well traveled. Calypso, perhaps she also may have knowledge. I will take their place up here and recommend that they go and look at it.
I'm going to go with Archimedes. He understands and speaks any language.
Oh, I don't know that.
But I've mentioned that. I mean, I would have mentioned that at some point. Just saying.
Even if you did, I wouldn't have remembered it.
Can I help you go? My really smart owl will take care of this one. Archimedes, you know it all. Get over here, owl.
Ow.
I'll stay where I was then.
Sorry, Calypso.
No, not at all. I wouldn't move unless I needed to.
Like me, just saying. That's my life.
Archimedes looks it over. Then looks back at you and states, "This is make sure I get the term correct."
It's Arcane Explosion.
Oh my
He's
god.
the only one who read it, so he's toast.
Yeah, I was thinking something along the lines of a rolling stone grows no moss, but okay. Some weird Greek phrase. Oh my god, does it say what's his name was here? I can't remember. Joe.
It's
Joe was
command
here.
word to instantly roll the rock back where it came from. We're
Oh, that sounds horrible. I want my 20 back.
dead. Rocks roll, everyone dies.
Rock and roll.
Make sure. This is known as Xiao. Or it is referred to now for a better reference for you guys. This is Old China. Actually, like archaic Chinese. To give you a way of seeing it, here is a picture of what it looks like. It is uploading. 3, 2, and 1.
My god, it's Pig Latin.
Didn't mean for it to be that big. but that is essentially what
Oh,
it looks
nice.
like.
Does he say where it originates from, the language?
He says it comes from far to the west. But
Okay.
he tells you that, yes, you can read it.
Looks like a
Read all
menu.
languages. And he tells you that it is logs of when the caravans are meant to arrive. And he tells you the next one is in a day.
Well.
It is due to arrive in a day. Essentially, it looks like they write down when it's to arrive. And then there seems to be a confirmation that it has arrived. And then when the next is to arrive. And it continues. You don't know who this would be in communication with. Obviously, someone would have to understand this language. But it appears to be times, dates, etc. And the next caravan is due tomorrow.
I jot this all down in my little notebook. Also, obviously, I assume Archimedes has mentioned this verbally to everyone, correct?
He does.
How's that, huh? Oh, my question. It's answered. My owl did it. Ah! We don't need
Nice.
the shiny little pool of water now, do we?
It's a good thing you have
Did-
your owl, my dear.
Did
Penelope
you
is
just
insanely proud of him.
laugh off the god's gift?
Exactly.
I laughed off my inability to ask a correct question. Look, obviously, whatever god is lucky is on my side.
So, seems that you have about a day, depending on if you choose to work through the night,
To prep an ambush.
to prep an ambush, if that is what you would like to do.
Oh, I think we should.
Yeah, just be aware. We do not even know the numbers that are involved with one of these caravans.
Yeah,
I
but
guess
we
we'll
have
start.
their bridge.
I mean, that's great. We can stop them temporarily, but as far as ambush is concerned, while we may be able to do significant damage, we may be facing formidable odds.
The goal indeed is, of course, either ambush the caravans, thereby
Or keep them from being able to deliver.
correct. Obviously, if you're successful in ambushing only one caravan, it's not that big of a deterrence.
And this little waterway, despite the fact that we know that this bridge is rickety in its current condition and they have these little rails and we could stop all that, how long would that really stop them? It's not like they would have to, create a massive bridge to cross this waterway or anything like that. They, really would only be deterred for a brief period of time. I mean, you're only looking at 15 feet across,
Indeed.
Yeah. Whatever we do decide, I would like to see if we can move that rock back to where it was to make it look as if it was undisturbed, just in case.
Now, if there is a way further up the pass, if it continues to be as narrow as this, that we could just completely clog the pass, that would be a different story. And I'm not talking about just a rock that can move, but like a landslide type of thing or something, an avalanche type of thing that we could engineer that could actually collapse and block the pass significantly. That would be, something that would actually stop a caravan for a good period of time.
Odysseus likes that thinking over just continued ambushes or assaults. Because he does mention, obviously, you guys can assault the caravan, and he is willing to stay with you to assault the caravan today. However, or that comes tomorrow, I should say. However, you can't stay here forever, assaulting every caravan and troops in this area, and then hope that they can A, get discovered, or B,
Get overrun.
Yeah, that they have enough force, because again, we don't know the size of these caravans.
It's also possible, because of the vision that I was granted, that the one particular caravan that comes through at the time of our attack holds some important leverage or some important piece of the puzzle that we're not seeing yet. Because the Oracle did say that this was the best chance for us to sway the battle. So there may be something in particular that's being transported that we're not accounting for. So we may not need to hold this, we may just need to hit the one caravan.
Well, this is being... Odysseus does step in and say that. So you are could be right. This is how Troy is getting supplies and withstanding a siege. If they're able to continuously get supplies and resources, then they can stay within their city for ages and not have to worry about leaving.
And you were shown a passageway and not a particular wagon or people or
though
within a
does
caravan.
doubt that you could be right and that there's an importance in the next caravan. He does say that he still thinks it would be very important to try to shut down the operation rather than just delay one.
Very well, then do we even need to wait for it? We have access to the boulder, and this runs downhill. The boulder appears like it would wedge itself here.
No, No, that runs uphill from where we're at.
Correct. From where you guys are here, this goes up, this goes down,
Okay.
that goes down. This is level.
Oh, the boulder doesn't look like it would fit through here either. We could
True.
wedge that. We could wedge this side with the boulder.
Like-
Yeah.
Like if
One.
all arrows point downhill,
Sure.
then it's that, and then it's also this.
I will note though that one, you guys relatively easily moved a boulder. They potentially could do the same.
They could if it were left round.
Wait, what?
If it were left round, it
Gotcha.
would be easily rollable.
But
But we
around
have
here,
tools.
No, if it were left as a round boulder.
I know.
is what
Yeah.
that's
I know.
But if we were to wedge it here and then unround the boulder using the tools in here,
It's a word. Archimedes says so.
It's a delay. You don't know if it would shut down the operation, but it is definitely a delay.
I would
we
I
could
would like
also
to look
use.
personally. I would like to look further up the pass.
Are
and
we
s-
trying to make this look deliberate
and
or
see if there?
accidental?
It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters at this point, honestly. But I'd like to look up the pass and see if there's an opportunity for us to get up on high ground, like somewhere like here or something like that, but further up the pass, and find loose boulders or rock that we can cause some kind of an actual collapse to block the entirety of the pass with more than just a 10 foot by 10 foot boulder, whether it's rounded or flattened or whatever.
Well, I mean, wood is burnable, after all.
What?
Wood, as in the planks that provide the means across the bridge itself, any of the greenery and the wood in the area, it's all burnable.
Yeah, but if they're bringing if they're bringing carts of any kind, which that's clearly what those tracks indicate, then they also have wood, because they could dismantle one cart to make a bridge, basically, that's 15 feet across or whatever. We dismantle 1 or 2 carts and get all the others across.
But they wouldn't have the tracks that they have hidden in the cave.
True, but
Again,
I don't think that they're not
delay.
that they're not impossible to replicate.
Sure.
It's a delay for sure, but is it a means of stopping?
I don't think.
Is there a
something like
way to cause an avalanche of rock to completely obscure a passageway?
Figure out.
That's what I was just saying. I think we should go further up the pass and look for an opportunity for that.
I agree.
We have time. Let's go.
Well, we've got like a day,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
we have time
Oh, I think
No.
that.
to explore it.
Not a full day, technically.
Or
It
whatever.
says that tomorrow that the caravan is coming, and it is already dusk. You have no idea when specifically
Sure.
that they're showing up.
We have plenty of time to explore the pass to the north.
To the best of our knowledge, we do. So that's good enough for us.
Yeah, and Archimedes can always go ahead as well. He's a happy little owl.
You continue up the pass. It goes steadily on an incline. It's not a very steep incline, but an incline nonetheless. For about 300 feet past the map before it eventually levels out. You are in the mountains, in deep within the mountains now, moving through a very tight path.
That doesn't say, does the path remain as narrow as this?
It becomes even narrower
No.
to the point where you would
Taller,
probably
perhaps?
think the Hobbit or the Fellowship moving through the trying to move over the mountains before going down to Moria. It's not snowy though, but it's single file for sure.
But a cart somehow gets through this.
A cart can get through. Like, you could move 2 abreast, but then that's putting one of you very dangerously close to the edge.
Okay, so let's send the owl up the mountainsides here and here along this pass to see if there is any section that might appear less stable that we could destabilize further.
He needs to make he needs to make an investigation roll.
Who does? Archimedes?
That is who is being sent.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I had stepped away for a moment. I had something in my eye. I'm back though. Better than ever.
Here you go.
Perception roll, right?
No.
Investigation roll, right?
Yes.
That's what I meant. Investigation is intelligence?
Correct.
Holy crap, I'm getting good. Oh,
It
alright.
would not
I was
be
good
able
for a second. That's better anyway. Good on you, Archimedes.
Looking around, there does appear to be a lot of loose rock. It would be possible that the rock could be pushed, maneuvered, etc. in a way that would allow for a collapse. You don't know if it would be enough because that's too random. But there does appear to be a lot of loose rock in the area that, should it be pushed and maneuvered in such a way, it would be possible that it could potentially avalanche and block the path. However, you don't know how safe it would be to do so for yourselves. It would also require you climbing quite high. if there was another means of you to get up to the rocks and to cause it, or if you had the means of doing that, then yeah. However, if you yourselves just wanted to climb the sheer rock and then try to push the rocks down, you A, don't know how safe it would be, B, don't know how effective it would be. I will ask with that knowledge, because I have an idea in mind that would work with this line of
Hold,
thought.
please.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
hear
you.
you. Hold
We're
on.
before you suggest, we have a couple of things.
Arthemeos, did you catch my whisper?
I
Riveting.
see it, but I'm not recalling the item that you speak of.
Okay, then
Do you not want to whisper it and just say it?
I ask who's carrying the horn.
Bacchius
Was a
had
fart
the
horn?
Bacchius has the horn. Of course he does. That makes perfect sense. Now we can't use what I wanted to use.
Was it like a Horn of Valhalla type of horn?
No, it was the horn to call the harpies for their assistance.
Oh yeah, okay.
Harpies are perfect to fly up there and knock the rocks down.
That's right. I couldn't remember a horn. I was like, man, what horn?
Yeah,
was he talking
we had that, and it sucks that a player's absence now prevents us from doing that.
about? Mm-hmm.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's out of your purview.
Is the spell?
The horn isn't like an extremely heavy object, if you catch my meaning.
But I don't know how much
How heavy is it?
I don't know how much Artemis can carry.
Archimedes?
He could probably carry it. I mean,
It doesn't say, I admit.
he
but-
could grip it by the husk.
Right.
He hoots.
What's the
He has an affinity
average
for
airspeed
horns.
velocity of a laden mechanical owl?
Oh my god.
You think he could probably get here before the dawn's light?
African or European?
So if a spell says a target, does that mean a creature?
There would even be the chance, I will say, to expand on this, because I like this idea a lot. Just because you can't blow the horn right now doesn't mean Bacchius can't blow the horn, summon the harpies, and then send them your way.
We could send a note.
But he doesn't know where we are.
But Archimedes
Archimedes
does.
does.
Archimedes could lead them. Dun 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 dun.
He
No,
would do it to the
He
flight.
could potentially
Valkyries.
carry the horn. It would probably take longer, but that would at least give you guys the opportunity to utilize the horn because our player's not here. But I will also mention it is 9:55. In all likelihood, we won't do the actual assault until the next session. And if John is here, then we might be able to work something around. But until then, that is, I will 100% allow if you want to send Archimedes over to the camp
As like a backup.
to either A, call the harpies and then lead the harpies back, or you could have him carry the horn, whichever you want to do. But he could definitely make the journey back and then back to you guys.
I think I'd almost rather have Archimedes send the message and have the horn blown from camp, because if we blow it here, we're drawing immediate attention to us in
Agreed.
this particular location.
Okay?
So yeah, I would ask that Penelope send Archimedes to Bacchios and ask Bacchios to blow the.
was there any other ideas that you guys were thinking of?
I was just
before we
wondering.
commit to this one?
I was just wondering
I
if
do
it
like this
spells.
plan, though.
Can you hear Calypso?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If a spell says target one or several within range, does that mean a creature, even though it doesn't ever specify it in the
Post a spell for me.
just scorching ray? You know it well enough.
Um.
Unless you want to actually see it.
Well, no. I mean, it doesn't hurt.
I don't see where it
You
mentions a
Yeah,
creature.
yeah, it doesn't have to be a creature. You can target anything. How effective it will be, obviously requires you to hit, and it's a ray of fire. It's not like a explosion. You know
No,
what
I
mean?
understand. Yeah. But I was just counting damage if there was anything that was obvious, like
It could
if we thought it
potentially.
was loose enough to push it or to loosen it somehow with manual tools.
I will say it could definitely be of assistance. You think that that's not a bad thought.
Because I know thaumaturgy is not going to do it. It's harmless thunder or rumbles and all of that. It's not really shaking the ground hard enough.
Thaumaturgy could potentially help because it's an extremely loud noise, and you know what happens when loud noises are done in mountain passes.
Right, and I can even cause tremors in the ground for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought about that as well, but I didn't know if it was strong enough being a cantrip.
It's possible. But
You also might not be able to get close enough.
So the main thing
She
I
said it
would
was
say,
really high.
yeah,
Right.
main thing I would say with your scorching ray and your thaumaturgy. Your scorching ray, yeah, that's going to be your biggest draw. Or your biggest drawback is that it's a very far distance, even at 120 feet. In regards to the thaumaturgy, it's very possible that could work. However,
30 feet
it's
range.
unpredictable.
Yeah.
You don't know. At least with the harpies, they can pick and choose the boulders. They can,
Yep.
there's a little bit of control there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts?
Well, while we wait on the bird, I'd like to destroy anything that's crafted in the cave.
So, like the wooden planks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, all the things that they've done to make this area passable.
Okay.
And is there an axe in there?
I would say there's a small woodcutter's axe here.
Okay. I'd like to take turns with Penelope working on felling these trees to build a barricade of sorts.
Oh. So do you intend to work through the night, basically? Or do you guys intend to rest? Because at this point, I'm going to say the sun is set. If you are sending out Archimedes, it has to be done now. But at this point, the sun is set. So you can work through the night. You guys have the torch, so it's like light isn't an issue. You can work through the night to do all this. That's not a problem. But obviously, you're going to forgo a rest. Or you sleep. You get your night's sleep, wake up, and just hope that they don't show up in the morning.
Well, if we're successful working through the night to create a barricade, we could potentially avoid any combat. So exhaustion hopefully wouldn't affect us.
That's true.
And that may buy us enough time for the harpies if there's some unforeseen circumstance that causes them to be late and forces us into a combat situation.
Okay, so all in favor of working through the night.
The nighttime is the right time, baby.
There we
I
go.
have an owl. I'm partial to the
Ooh.
evening.
I ask Arthemios what type of offering we may make to Nyx to gain her guidance through the night and possibly prevent exhaustion for this particular evening.
Interesting. Is there anything Mother can assist with on such a thing?
I wouldn't say that it would help prevent exhaustion. It might help keep you guys quiet in whatever loudness you are doing. But I wouldn't say it would help prevent exhaustion. It could definitely be utilized to keep the area somewhat muffled. If
Okay.
you're successful in it, which
Sure.
obviously could be very helpful. But Nyx wouldn't. I mean, she's the goddess of night.
Just because we know that the caravan is coming through tomorrow doesn't mean that some scouts don't clear the path ahead of time. So
Sure.
noise and stuff like that might be a good thing, definitely.
Sure, we'll make an offering.
I would assume that you would lead this, Arthemios.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll
Go
I'll
ahead
do that.
and make a religion roll with advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. That's religion's my thing. Definitely.
I've lowered the DC because it's your mom.
Well, thank God for advantage.
Ouch, 16 and
16 is not bad. I'll take it.
Yes. In fact, you only needed a 10 because it's your mommy.
Oh.
Um,
Aw, come on, Mom. These are my friends.
will your hair get ruffled?
Penelope,
Yeah.
come help me chop trees.
You see a big lipstick stain on your cheek. And then it
That's not
gets
lipstick,
smudged.
that's wine.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's do this.
Real
You guys
Housewives of the
set
Greek
about-
mythos.
You guys set about chopping down trees. Let me do this. Chop down the tree. Log there.
No, not there.
I'm gonna let you guys move them. I'm just gonna place them for now.
Oh, okay. But I was drawing.
Well, that's fine. You can keep your drawing.
Oh shit, the logs are shrinking.
Some trees are bigger than others.
Yes, that's true. Alright, I'm gonna go carefully across this again.
Your lumberjack mother's been telling you about me, hasn't she?
God. Alright, taking the wood with.
Alright, there is all of those, and then let me do this. Alright, that should be all the logs. So all the logs should now be able to be maneuvered as you see fit.
There's one just south of Penelope.
It's a tiny stick. This is like Where's Waldo log version. Oh, it makes a pretty picture. Oh, I like it. It's like an asterisk.
Almost like it was purposefully done.
Nah.
Penelope.
Unfortunately, the logs were built while Calypso, Arthemeos, and Odysseus were on the other side.
Penelope, over here.
Okay. I've lost my owl.
Yeah, your owl's flying away.
I noticed. He's a smart owl.
You're pushing the boulder back.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call Odysseus and ask for his. There we go. That
He's
should
not
be
the
pretty
strongest
easy.
fellow.
No, but a third person should make it a little bit easier.
I will lower the DC slightly. Go ahead and both of you make athletics checks at an advantage.
Got advantage. Hell's yeah.
I'm
Get out of
see
here.
my
stronger
life.
than Odysseus.
Arthemeos feels left out.
No, Arthemios is doing the best thing we can possibly.
Talking to his mom.
Getting out of the way.
We're putting it in that 2x2 square right between Arthemios, where the
Oh, you want to roll it back uphill?
yeah, we're gonna put it up here.
Okay.
Both of us are over 20, so
I
didn't
will
know
say-
you were smooth.
With those rolls, well, I still want the roll from Odysseus.
so we can laugh at the epic hero. Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
you
That's not
didn't do
bad.
terrible. Alright, that got you to here. It is now significantly harder. Because you're rolling it uphill. And
Mhm.
oh, what a Greek picture this makes.
Oh
Then
my
I-
god.
Yeah.
Better not
Then
slip
we're gonna let Pansy Boy there step out, and we're gonna let Arthemius step in.
Come on in here, buddy.
Now you are no longer at advantage,
Except for I am.
except for Penelope.
Okay.
Good
Roll
save.
an
Damn.
athletic.
Oof. I'm gonna use my taking.
Go for it. Ooh.
Oh.
Do you also want to use your inspiration?
Yeah, I'm gonna use mine now.
There you go.
Hey, it's better than a 4. Better
It
than
is
an actual
definitely
1.
Better than in that one.
Okay. I'll say this. With it takes you some time. But you are able to get it to here. However, I'm gonna take control of your tokens real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
You can tell that it's not stable by itself up here.
Doesn't seem like that's of much value then, because it's gonna just roll down one way or another on its own without them having to do
Penelope.
anything to it.
Penelope, move.
I want to, but I was placed here.
You can
Come
move
back on our
now.
side. Go around the long way. Come back to our side.
Very well.
We're gonna shove the shit out of this thing down and wedge it in that space.
Very well.
Since a cart can't really pass this way anyway, the timbers should provide a slowdown, and then putting the rock here and wedging it in place. Then we'll use the tools. Nice.
I got bored.
Look at the animation. And then use the tools to flatten its edges and make it much.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
All right. Since we're pushing it downhill now, are we at advantage?
Not advantage, but the DC is not that high.
All right, there we go. I'm worn out.
You are worn out. You've been chopping down trees.
Yep.
Arthemia.
Working my ass off today. Sub 10 on mine.
Sub 10 on mine.
Is.
Penelope.
It's up to you, Penelope.
Damn it.
Advantage in an 11.
It was a DC 10, so.
All
Thank
right. Thank the
Jesus
gods.
Christ. I do. I thank Athena greatly.
Begins. Oh, wrong thing. It begins to roll down. Gets to about here.
Okay.
Penelope. Actually, no, Calypso, because you haven't been rolling any dice. Calypso. I want you.
Yes.
Well, profanities before you go over there. Calypso. I want you to roll a d10. On a 1, something's going to happen. Anything
the
else?
logs, the logs are gonna crush me. Final Destination style.
God.
Anything
Okay.
else?
The D10?
Actually, I guess profanities, you were here originally, right? Go ahead and put yourself back over here.
Yeah, I was there. I can't grab myself.
Go ahead.
I'm grabbing logs.
Go ahead.
There we go. Thank you.
Calypso, roll a d10, don't roll 1.
I have no control. It's a 2.
Ooh.
It's a 2. It's a 2.
But it's not a 1. The boulder doesn't get too much momentum, so
It's
it
worse.
is
It's 2 1s.
kind of wedge itself, essentially, in the area. It's not really wedged so much as it kind of just resting there.
Sure.
But it is effectively blocking the area. Let me do this. And I will do... So. And now you're going to use the tools to flatten the edges, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Odysseus can definitely help with this. Give me a sleight of hand.
For me or Odysseus, if I allow him to do the work?
If you allow him to do it, well, he doesn't have proficiency in sleight of hand, but
Neither
he can
do I.
use his dex.
Alright, there's mine. Not bad.
Not bad. Odysseus can make a roll as well. He's getting pretty tired.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the skill, like you said, so it's just dex. But even so.
Okay. With that, you are able to kind of get, smooth out the edges a little bit, and then with the help of Penelope and Arthemeos, pushing on the other side to kind of wedge it in. It feels relatively firm in place. It would take something extremely big or someone extremely strong to wedge it out of place, or to at least offset it, that it would probably roll down the edge or something. That being said, it seems like it's in a relatively good spot at the moment.
In the tools there, what kind of fasteners did they use? I'm assuming they did some repair work on the bridge. Were they using rough
Check out the
nails?
bridge.
Were they using ropes? What were they using to help repair the bridge?
Check out the bridge. You don't see anything. There doesn't appear to be any nails or anything of the kind. But if
Is there tar? I mean,
check the bridge.
It's not rope.
I'm looking at the bridge. I'm zoomed in all the way. I don't see any rope.
I meant you put your character by the bridge.
Oh, I'm like, I don't see
all the way by
shit.
the rocks. Your character's still looking at the back. Looking closely, minor repairs were done. Like I said, the bridge looks relatively recent that it's been in this rough condition. However, it appears that very tightly woven fibers have been used to fasten the bridge.
Okay. Are there any in the tool bag?
No, but make a perception check.
I've been doing great at these all night. Boom. Yep, another single digit, baby.
Odysseus and Penelope can also make a perception check.
Sweet. Perhaps Archimedes can come join me. Oh, he's on the.
No, he's on a
he's on
mission.
the fly. Oh my god.
Oh shit! Rocks fall. What the hell was that?
I had to
It's
get
a toenail
Arthemeus.
dog.
I saw that. I saw that. Not funny.
Odysseus points out this over here. Those of you who have been playing New World should know how to harvest fibers.
Okay.
Make them and
make me
make the
jealous.
hemp fibers into cloth, into linen.
I hand my rope.
Into
I
a
hand
hemp
my
rope.
rope to Penelope,
I take it. Thank you for
and
the
I
gift.
work my way across.
Oh, alright. Yeah, yeah.
Harvest, harvest, harvest.
Your sickle breaks.
Say.
You get a little harvesting skill.
Yay!
Oh my god, you're doing New World stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I bring it back. I bring it all the way back up here,
Mm-hmm.
and I enlist the help of my trusty mage, my Oracle Calypso, and I'm gonna have her use a torch and thaumaturgy and ask her if she can't make some kind of sticky, gluey, control this barricade better nonsense out of the fibers and tar from the sap from the logs and her flaminess.
Flaminess.
Calypso,
What?
use your flaminess.
What? Okay,
Use
I
your
use my
flaminess.
flaminess.
Wait, I have to come down there. I was studying the Chinese.
Were you?
Your voice isn't coming through.
Oh, sorry, I was studying the rock over here to see if there was
So,
some way to damage that.
Profanities, as
Yeah,
you
he
were
didn't. He
asking,
wasn't asking you to come down here. He wants it
As
Where
to
is it?
at the
Asking-
barricade up there.
Oh,
as
sorry,
you were
I was
asking Calypso
zoomed
to,
way out.
you were asking her to come and join you. She watches. She just walked down the
wanders away.
Not surprised.
Whoop-de-doo.
Okay.
I do
Um,
stuff and things.
So, with Calypso's aid, Profanities, and Calypso, either of you make a. Let's do this. What tools are you guys proficient in?
Wait, who are you asking?
All of you.
Alright, look.
I'm proficient in land vehicles.
That
Simple
is
simple
very
weapons.
useful here.
Yes, it's extremely useful.
I
Oh my
just
god,
have
that's me
simple
too.
weapons listed.
I'm also sea vehicles, just in case the sea comes here.
Yep. Land and water vehicles and thieves' tools.
Calypso,
I do have
you.
Hold on, I am a wood carver. Well, I have that twice, as a matter of fact.
What?
You have
It's not
wood
as a
carver's
proficiency.
tools, but you
Yeah.
don't have proficiency in wood carver's tools.
Damn, I need to start
Okay.
educating myself. Poor
Fair enough.
Penelope.
Then, yeah, Profanities, Calypso. Since you guys are setting about this, both of you make a
Survival.
make survival rolls.
There's mine. I am worn out. My dice are done for the day. There's Calypso.
Look at that girl.
Hmm.
Knew I could trust her having not done any work today.
I was studying the rock, trying to figure out how to damage the log, okay?
Wow.
As yes, you are able to utilize some of the sap from the cutaway logs.
I like your cut,
stripping-
G.
stripping the fibers from the reeds, you are able to wrap your logs together, making them sturdier, and using the staff even solidifies that in and of itself. Seems like the barricade is quite sturdy.
And after they're done with that, all that's left is sticks and stems, right?
Correct.
Got it.
I'm also going to have some of the harpies drop some rocks inside here to help weigh everything down.
Okay. Seems like I'm going to say that all of these activities you guys have been doing take up the night. I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws at disadvantage.
Well,
Disadvantage.
You guys have been cutting down trees, moving rocks, setting things up. You've been very physical. It is tiring.
There we go. Natural one for me.
Calypso can roll flat because she didn't do much.
Damn, Arthemeos, nice rolls, bro.
I did my roll already. It's a 19.
You mean Odysseus? Nice roll.
Oh yeah, Odysseus.
Yeah, I got the natural one as well.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say.
I do have a die of inspiration. Would either of you
that's true.
like that?
Go ahead.
If I re-roll, I'm likely to end up with a 10. If Arthemeos re-rolls, he's likely to end up with another natural one. So
Right.
make your
So I
choice
said, go
wisely.
I'm saying you guys can duke it out. Do a thumb war or something.
No,
I've already
mathematically,
said go ahead.
no,
You're too tired
mathematically,
for thumb wars.
Arthemeos. Look, if I re-roll and I get a natural 20, it doesn't matter because I get the 10 because it's my higher roll. If you roll an 11, it's already better than my 10
Do it.
because you keep the 11.
Well, you lost me on all that. I wasn't paying attention.
So if we roll, if we use a re-roll, we
Right.
re-roll our lowest die. Each of us has a natural 1.
Right.
We're still
Oh.
at disadvantage. So if
Never
I roll a
mind.
nat 20, I keep the other 10 that I have.
Right.
If you roll a natural 20, it goes down to a 16,
Right.
and you likely pass. I'm likely to fail either way. So you're mathematically better to take the die than I am.
Okay.
Just go by the words he says. Penelope is so confused.
It's okay. He's gonna roll another nat one anyway.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
gonna matter.
we know that.
I'm gonna
We
roll
know
about
that.
a 4 or a 5, maybe not a nat 1, but even so.
It's all right. Let's see it.
See, 5. Called it.
Oh God!
I called it.
You did. You absolutely did.
All right.
Oh well.
I regret nothing.
Profanities and
Just for shits and giggles.
See?
I still would have had a 10. It still would have failed.
10 would have passed.
Sure.
10 would have passed. I mean, it's only it's only one level of exhaustion. It's not like it's a heavy
Yeah.
one.
Not
anyway.
that worried about it. I'm expecting not to get into combat anyway.
As I said, profanities, Arthemios, both of you guys do have one level of exhaustion. The rest of you are very tired. You do not get the benefits of a long rest. So abilities, spells, etc., that is still used up. However, you don't have exhaustion as of yet. The next morning, before the sun breaks, you see the forms of the harpies and Archimedes approaching you quickly from the south.
Quick, where's the flight of the Valkyrie?
Copyright. Actually,
just
that's
need-
probably public domain by now.
I just need Robert
Get it?
Duvall leading them.
So you, on our next session, you will tell them what you want them to do, get it situated, choose if you guys want to stay, if you want to leave, if you want to assault, because I will remind you, Profanities, you had the thought that this caravan could potentially be important. You don't know. Anyway, I will say, well done for today's session. I hope you all enjoyed coming back thank anyone. Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, welcome back. I will say, with the holidays coming up, scheduling is going to probably be a little sporadic here and there. But I have every intention, at least on my end, to be running on the 20th, 27th. I know we will be short a Penelope next week. But
Yeah, I don't know about us yet.
guys are killing me.
Sorry, I'll know in a couple
It's
of
that
days.
time of year, man.
It is.
I can say this: if you run on the 27th and even the 4th, for that matter, it won't be streamed because I won't be here.
All right.
It sounds like we might be gone for another month, folks.
So-
We'll see.
Just saying.
We'll find out, I guess.
Going out of town
Anyway.
after Thanksgiving.
That's part of the adventure.
Or
That's
Thanksgiving.
part of the adventure. Will
Oh
they be
yeah,
there? Will they
more,
not?
more
No, we
prep
don't.
for me. Yay!
It's
Oh.
great.
Okay.
It's great
Alright.
practice for Calypso's memory.
Listen,
All right.
we're not meta-ing here.
Stick around, everybody, because I do need to talk to you guys after game. Otherwise,
Yep.
thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your night.
Peace,
Alright.
everybody.
Right.
All right, and I will go and sign it out. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. Well, that is going to wrap it up for tonight, as the Game Master Wolfgar has described. Additionally, like we just touched on, there is going to be, and let me go ahead and take that game screen off of there. There is going to be some issues with holiday time period coming up and everything, as far as more absences and stuff, myself included, and it's my stream, me being Secret Squirrel, of course. So whether or not they choose to play without me, so be it, but it won't be being streamed, and therefore, we'll have to catch up on a recap or something like that of what happened while I was gone, kind of thing. I mean, theoretically, I might still be able to play the game, because I could probably take a laptop with me or something like that, but I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be in a position to be able to stream and everything, because all my streaming software and everything's on my desktop here, and I'm not gonna bother setting that whole thing up onto a laptop just to do this from the road. But we'll have to figure it out whether it happens or not while I'm gone. But we do thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Definitely. Make sure you do catch up. You can catch up on prior episodes. Let me just remind you of that as well over on Secret Squirrel Games, the YouTube channel. It has the same logo that you see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. One more time, for the third time tonight, I'm going to go ahead and mention it anyway. All the music that you heard during the course of the stream tonight, it was provided royalty-free, copyright-free music by Adrian Von Ziegler. His name is in the bottom left of the screen. Feel free to Google his name, check out his website, and he's also available over on Spotify as well. All of his music that he puts out, at least to the best of my knowledge, all of it is copyright-free, royalty-free music that he puts out that is available for anybody's project. So if you want to use it for something yourself, feel free to do so. YouTube videos, Twitch streams, whatever. It's all good. And we appreciate it, definitely, so we highly encourage you to go and check out his stuff and give him proper credit where credit is due. Like I said, though, you can check out prior episodes of this campaign, the D&D Myths and Legends campaign, over on my YouTube channel, Secret Squirrel Games. There's a playlist over there called D&D Myths and Legends, and we are obviously getting closer to the actual Battle of Troy here. And we can't wait to do that, and we hope that you will join us for that. We just can't tell you exactly when that's going to happen, given the fluctuating schedules of the holiday season. So thanks again for tuning in. Make sure you catch us whenever that is next time. If you hit the follow button, you will be notified when we go live next time. Otherwise, you can check out my channel and just see on my schedule. It'll be listed if I'm in vacation mode, and then I won't be streaming it. If I'm not listed in vacation mode, then the stream should show on my calendar of events. Okay? All right, thanks again, and we will catch you next time. Take care, everybody. I'm just going to pop up a little screen here to give you a reminder of all the places to check out and what to do there. Otherwise, we're going to call it a night here. Take care. Bye.